where are we going to see the actual game? Okay. Oh, your thing will be able to handle it? Okay. Is there? Oh, Jesus. They're just in the waiting room. Oh my god. Look at everybody being on time. Do I get in there? Okay.
Wait, do I need to turn my camera off for this?
Yeah. Yeah, they're working on it. Can't hear him either.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
I can't hear you in there.
Why are you echoing? No.
I'm
Oh,
in
no!
video. Yo. Yeah, yeah.
It's all doubly.
No, no.
Oh no, they hear it.
I see starting soon. Starting soon. Yeah, yeah.
Can you hear us, chat?
I can hear myself twice.
Can you hear me twice?
Nope. Nope. Just me.
I don't know, but Welcome to the ICL. I yelled.
Who's that caster? Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
I think you're always cooked, but
How about now?
Hey!
You might have been here the whole time and unmuted, and they just heard you talking just to yourself. It's
I
quite
hope
possible.
not.
Hey, hey, look at that beautiful broadcast team.
Look
I'm
at
so
us.
impressed. It
We're
looks
back
so nice.
with our Brady Bunch situation.
Literally.
I'm so excited. Just like
Literally the moment I click
Yeah.
transition, my kid runs into the room. Welcome
get
to the
it. Let's
ICL!
get it.
Holy crap, we're back!
Welcome, everybody, back to the ICL. We're here for season number 2. Tonight, we have a great matchup between SLTC and the one and only, the infamous, the amazing Ink.
Calm down.
Oh, my
You need
Judge
to
who's
relax.
biased.
You need to leave. No. But he is absolutely
Sure.
right, because it feels like it's been forever since we've had some ICL. And honestly, I didn't realize how much the ICL meant to me and how much of a part of my life that the ICL has become. As Luke is yelling in my peripheral.
Shoot. I muted one mic, but not that one. So they didn't hear me yell, but I basically yelled all at you right there.
That was rude. Okay.
I'm in my professional pundit era. All right, everyone. Let's walk.
I'm over here pouring my heart out. Shut up, JD.
That's enough out of you, JD.
Come on, man.
I heard the word "shut" and I just lost it because I thought that's what he was gonna. That's not what he said. He did not say that. But at the same time, like my brain just filled in the blanks and had a ball. So, all right, woo, we're back. We're professional. Garrick, you're doing great. I see your pin. I see your pin over there.
Yeah, it's my North American Championship pin. Love to have a World's pin like some people
Oh.
here, everyone here, but I don't.
Yeah.
So I will lock in
No,
with my Cindy.
I don't have one.
It's because it's
Okay,
right here.
oh, okay. Oh, okay. Never mind.
True.
Okay.
But I do
I
have
have
a
one.
giant Elsa behind my
Ooh,
screen.
Like a real one, like an actual giant card.
Yeah.
actual one.
Oh, because it's Luke's, isn't it? Oh, that's funny. So I have Luke's this, and then you have Luke's that. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
giant Elsa.
Everyone just has gifts of mine or things of mine.
Everyone's
Or
got
prizes.
Luke's piecemealed prizes
yeah,
out there.
exactly. Yeah.
I love it. But are you guys ready? Luke, I know you've been taking a big break at the ICL. I mean, it's back now. How does that make you feel? You excited for the next season?
I don't have nights anymore. Well, we're only doing it 2 nights a week now. So that was one thing I noticed as soon as the ICL ended. As soon as it was done, I was like, what do I do with all my time? It's like way too much time. Like I should be streaming right now.
Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. I'm so glad to be back at it.
You
Okay.
had to put down Silk Song so you could get back at to the important stuff, the important thing, but also Silk Song is important. I get it.
Don't tempt him, Cole. It's just a matter of time before Silk Song is in the middle of the ICL.
We just
stream.
look over and he's just like over here.
It's like
and
in
you're
a small
"Luke," and
little-
he's just like,
a
like
small
what are
little
you doing? Yeah. Second screen. Yeah.
a small little box in like the bottom right hand corner is just Luke Silk Songing, muted to the crowd. The broadcasters are going. He's just like grunting and panicking on the side.
Yeah.
It's like
No,
we
you
can
can't
only
leave the
hear him
music.
and no one else can hear him.
Oh,
That's
no.
what's
We
gonna
were
happen.
We gotta
were
leave the
playing
music
Final
though.
Fantasy Tactics yesterday and naming characters. I don't think Kitty's character did not survive very long. Your character did. I do believe you're still alive, JDZ.
Let's go.
Oh.
I think Color also perished in the first fight.
Actually, that honestly makes sense. I have no idea what that game is about, except for what I've been told. But me being the first to be banished feels right.
It was
feels-
just fun to do
feels
this
normal.
with the
Yeah.
viewers at all. But let's look at something that's a little more Lorcana based and check out this lovely fellow. here.
Oh, it's a new photo array. I love it.
Oh, another one? I can't see it. Let me see. I got a little delay here. Let me pull that up.
Lock in.
Oh,
Because you're
look at
watching the
that,
stream,
man.
you gotta watch the video.
There you go. I'm seeing it now. And there it is. That is a handsome hunk right there. If I ever done seen one.
Don't start
look at-
this. Not day one. Don't.
Oh, it's,
don't
it's
skip
gonna
it.
start.
I'm gonna get
And
my
it's
heart
typing
back. You know
right
what?
off
Yeah.
that.
All right. Yeah.
And
Break
it's
it to
gonna
heart.
it's gonna start
so
and
bad
it's
at
not
this.
gonna end super handsome hunk and great player as well. I'm talking deck builder, extremely creative, top 5 deck builder in the entire game. I think if this Illumineer went to more tournaments, more events, and played more on the competitive circuit, he'd be up there, top tier player. He's always cooking the spice, always bringing the heat. Going to be leading the charge for the SLTC team this season. Apparently played Diablo on turn 1, 2. Often they call me the Oracle. Been getting smoked by Blurple this set. Can we please ban Sale? Absolutely not. Take your blows like everybody else.
Combo, and we're talking about bannings already. Like
I know. Well, yeah, I was actually talking with Ray earlier, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't like playing meta decks. Not this set. I don't like playing meta decks." So I'm actually quite excited to see what he has cooked up for us today, because it's always interesting. And then I'll net deck it because it looks interesting, and he beat me into the dust with it, right? Mm-hmm. And I can't pilot it. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. So
yeah, every time he joins the morning stream and I play some games against him, people are like, "Give me your list, Ray. I want the juice. Give me. It's so good."
You're like, you wouldn't know what to do with it until you. It's like one of those things.
Inner machinations of Ray's mind are an enigma.
I love it.
A beautiful, wonderful enigma, and yeah, it's amazing to see his deck building capabilities on display all the time. So really happy to have the SLTC back again, and Ray, of course, because he's always bringing something really, really exciting.
And sick haircut. So shout out.
Well,
absolute swiping. We're swiping all the way right there. I'm talking hard, so hard I might break my phone. We're talking boom on the right swipe, baby. Locked in on some SLTC Ray.
And
speaking of another handsome hunk,
I was like, I will swipe right on Justin just so I can also swipe right on Taryn and their dog. So I was like, if that is like a package deal, yeah. So Justin, also SLTC top 64 DLC Seattle, top 64 DLC Toronto, and SSG 10K winner, and a Sapphire Steel Master? Can I do that? Can I say that?
Mainstay.
He's one of the leaders.
Yeah,
he's one of the legends. Yeah, for sure.
Master legend.
For sure.
Also,
yeah, absolutely.
Beaten me in 2 tournaments, to be fair.
He should have that right at the bottom in small print.
Not 2-0 though. Okay, I got a game both times, everyone. Let's relax.
Okay. Super handsome hunk as well. We're absolutely right swiping here, but also I want to say something about this player's intelligence level. I think he's quite smart, very cerebral. He can understand. He has a deep understanding for the game in just turns and outcomes and statistics and mathematics and things of that nature. So I'm a big fan of him, as he knows every time he's there in a tournament, I try to finesse him onto a feature match because I love covering his games, because his gameplay is also very clean. And he doesn't make too many mistakes. And if he does, he'll quickly tell you what those are, because he learns very rapidly on the fly. Big brain player. Love to see him. Can't wait to see what he's bringing tonight as well. I don't know what he's playing this set, honestly.
I have no idea. But yeah, anytime I have any kind of math, I'll just tag Justin and ask. And then if I just make assumptions on a mathematical equation, I'll be like, "Right, Justin?" He's like, "Literally no." And I'm like, "All right, I was right." Yeah. So thanks for checking my work. But yeah. Fumbles!
But Gary's going to tell us about Fumbles. We got Fumbles out here. Talk to me
about third handsome hunk in a row. Am I right, everybody? Shout out to Rick Fumbles of the SLTC, top 8 of SSG Arcasia's Island 15K tournament, top 8 SCG Hartford, 5-time Stitch Matt winner, which feels a decade ago. And I would like to add future Golden Mickey winner at Milwaukee, and he promised that Mickey to me. So lock in, Fumbles. I'm rooting for you, baby. Let's go.
Is this photo current? I don't know.
Is this a reason for? Let that go. I'm sorry, Haymaker. God.
It is a wonderful photo of Fumbles. And win, lose, or draw, I think we're going to have some entertainment. Fun fact, one of my favorite things to do is to watch Fumbles play.
Yes.
Not for reasons you would think, because Fumbles is a very entertaining person. Whether he's trying to or not, I think it's just, I don't know, it's quite funny. And hopefully he come out and show why he is who he is. He can come out and get some dubs. And maybe if the deck, he's probably one of the more unlucky people, I think, in the world. I would say.
He's probably
As-
one
More
of the
than-
more
more than-
unlucky people.
But-
What? You're like, I love watching him lose.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not the losing. It's the way that it goes. It's always like
His
the
crash
most
outs are it's like hilarious, and he calls it too. He would call his opponent's shot, and
It'll
that's
be
the
like-
best part.
It'll
That
be
is
like,
true.
man, I got this Hades. If I could just draw one inkable card, I win the game immediately.
Yeah.
And guess
Well,
what? It'll be
Unink,
like 4
It's like,
Well, before we continue to rag on
Oh.
Humbles,
Oh, sorry.
who we do
Sorry.
out of
no,
love
okay. I
because
will
we all
say,
love him so much here.
Fumbles and I were testing today, and he was beating the ever loving.
He's really good.
I was like, I'm supposed to be favored into this deck, and you were showing me that I'm not over and
Absolutely.
over and over. So, phenomenal
And
player. Worse luck. It's not his fault.
if he had the same amount of luck as everyone else, he
He'd
would
be unstoppable.
he'd be a DLC champion already. Okay,
Mhm.
it's just the luck thing. He just got to adjust his chakra, burn some sage or something, get that luck thing figured out, and he's gonna go right to the top. 100%.
Change his ninja way and just his chakra.
Watching Fumbles play every morning is like the highlight
Yes.
of my
Yes.
work week. It's just
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm doing my work over here, and I'm watching Fumbles test on the left. He's preparing me for the DLC more than anyone else. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, that's so.
Well,
it's so good.
let's talk about someone who you should actually be preparing with the DLC
Uh-oh.
with.
I'm
Eric.
still preparing with
Uh-oh.
the good man Daryl Donaldson of Inc. Of course, I think Daryl is a player that is going to be surprising a lot of people here in season 2 of the DLC season. He did get top 4 at the second Inc. Invitational, and as you all know, the Inc. tournaments are absolutely stacked. And if you're going to make a top 4 there, that is basically a DLC top 64, the amount of talent that we have there. 24th at the Open, which we just had a couple of weeks ago. All of you were in attendance, and it was a great time. And he did get 41st place at Charlie's Collectible Show. So Daryl coming in hot, ready to perform in season 2 here. Really excited to have him on the team and have him show off his amazing gameplay. He's a player to be on the lookout for.
Absolutely. I've met Daryl a few times myself. Wonderful person and also better deck. I think he has one of the most gorgeous collections, one of the most beautiful decks
rarity.
I've seen. I think he actually achieved the rare feat of having the maxed out Sapphire Amethyst strategy, which I think when you have a maxed out Blurple deck, it just looks it just completely just flexes on your opposition every single time. And I've seen when he's gotten the card pool, man, and hopefully he got a chance to flex a lot of that on the ICL here tonight.
I walked over right as he was sleeving his Hades and his bells, and it was the weekend. It was the Open, so it was the weekend after those cards came out, and he had 4 ofs all the way through the second stars, everything. And I actually took a photo of it and put it on my Instagram, my stories or whatever. And people are like, "Are those yours?" I'm like, "No,
Actually,
I couldn't even afford to look at them." It's like I owed him money after I looked at his deck. It was the craziest thing, but.
Yeah,
Beautiful
Daryl's one
cards.
of 2 players on Inc. that plays at max rarity, and every time I'm like, I shouldn't be play test. They'll be like, play with this deck, I'll play with this, and I'm like, I have 2 mortgage payments in my opening hand. Can we not? And my other teammate doesn't even double sleeve them. It's like single sleeve Dumbos and Bells and Enchanted Elsas. I'm like, what are you doing?
Actually insane.
He's
dude.
like, should I play this card? And you're like, No.
Actually insane. I love it though. I love it for him. I like to watch from afar. You know what I'm saying? My kids got to go to college, dude. I can't afford it.
Right.
I love to see other people do it, but it's for them. It's not for me, and that's fine.
No, I absolutely love it, especially do it at casting. And so if there's somebody's throwing out Enchanteds, play your cards. I can't afford them, but I want to see them. So.
Oh, let's go.
All right, Garrick, I know you know everything about all your teammates, so I'm going to let you introduce another one.
Oh, you want me to do all of them? Okay, this is Regis. Shout out to Regis. Another player. He hasn't had the opportunity to play in any DLCs just yet, so he is excited to get here into the second season and show what he is made of. Some say best mustache in the game. Some are saying it. It's
Some
out
are
there.
saying it. Like, did I really just read that?
Some are saying it. Multiple top 8s at plenty of 1Ks here in the DMV, and we all know the DMV is one of the best regions in the North American region itself. It is.
That's a fact.
Let's all agree.
All right. Well, I mean,
Color, Disagree?
I didn't say
Disagree?
anything.
We got Justin Jack Shadows up here. We got Jonathan Lamb. We got Kurt Spice. I mean, need I say more? Anyway, 8-time second place finishes for set champs. Regis was one of those people like Kurt who just could not get over the finish line at set championships because they're really hard.
Yep.
They're really hard up here. And he finally did get a win, though, in the Reign of Jafar. So shout out to him. And he is the largest Little John Sir Reginald collection TM maybe in the world.
Cool.
He's been collecting a lot of them. That Sir Reginald does have a big mustache as well. So if you see Regis, he'll probably ask you to sign a Sir Reginald.
I think if you beat him,
and I think I did.
It goes in the book, right?
I did meet him. I did see. I was going to bring it up about his book. You have to beat him, and then you get a signature put in the book. I still haven't got a signature in the book.
It's a regicide from Magic the Gathering. That is the card. Yeah.
Yeah, I have not beat him yet. We played and he beat me both times. So there it is. One of these days, pal, you're going down. There it is.
And also, he was on an episode of Allies on the Other Side back when Reign of Jafar came out with Garrick and I, and just kind of casually hysterical, like one of those dry humor people that is just casually, like they say something and you're like, that is so funny. Like, I don't know. I like that. I like that kind of humor. So shout out, right? Shout out.
Nice little bit of regicide.
Definitely.
We're still right swiping over there.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Matt Hash. You buried the lead, Gary. You guys did send a great side out here today. You undersold me there on the This Is Not a Podcast. You got Matt Hash. Look at that face.
He's looking intense, man. I look scared. This is the way he looks at me when I forget to post something on social media. It's just send me this picture. It's like, I'm sorry, Matt. My bad. Shout out to Matt Hash, team manager and player for Inc. Did win a PAX playmat last year. Almost exactly a year from now. Everybody should come to PAX. It's an amazing time. Anyway, did that in sealed. 14 set championship, top 8s, 4 championships at set championships. And top 4 Dream Wizards. Okay, shout out Matt. He also did get a top 8 at a really stacked event in Delaware at Safari Zone over the weekend with people like the Dave were there, Rob. Of course, everybody knows Rob from the SCG circuit, former TFM teammate, player. Shout out to Rob, one of the best players in North America, will surely dominate. And team, a bunch of other great players. Did I say the Dave? The Dave was there? Yeah.
Yep.
I was there. We had Funny JK. Scott was there. We didn't make top 8, but Matt did, and he absolutely crushed it. So really excited for Matt to play today. Yeah. Absolutely.
I see him out there, man. I'm seeing him in the dojo. I think we got to update that player card. We need Matt out there playing a little bit more. I know Matt does a lot of tournament organizing as well. Big participant and big contributor to the Inc. Tournament series. But we got a lot of Inklings on there. We need to get that updated a little bit. Let's get some dubs in some newer sets there. Post rotation.
Post rotation if possible. I gave you a top 8 he had.
Okay.
In a 2K. On Saturday. So he should update his player card. I guess
get that thing updated. Okay,
he's been doing too much team managing and not enough team playing. I guess
I can respect.
I was going to say actually at the Inc. Open, my favorite memory of Matt Hash was JDZ, Kim, and I were dancing to no music and to film that Goofy movie video we were recording, and so all 3 of us were just dancing to music, and we turned around and Matt Hash was just standing there staring at all of us.
Judging us.
What are you doing?
He said everything he needed to say without saying a word at all.
Like not even a word, just frozen in place, staring at us, and just kind of backs out of the room. And we're like, oh, come on.
When that happened, Color, I very rarely get embarrassed. I'm very confident in myself. Very rarely get embarrassed. When he stared at us and said nothing, I felt like I was 1 inch tall. I was like, what am I doing? I got this goofy hat on. I'm dancing. I feel like an idiot.
Yeah. Doing like the sprinklers and it was ridiculous. There was no music, completely silent. Just could hear our clothes shuffling. Like
he was you could tell he was like so disappointed. He was like,
it was his picture that we just had. It's probably what he hit you with.
Yeah, he was just standing there like Like
so
intense,
disappointing.
Matt.
it had to be like you remember that the High School Musical video where they take all the music out of the background and they're just like clicking on pots and they're like, yeah, like that. That's probably what he walked in on, and we were just like, and he's like, I hired these people to be professional.
The first time I met Matt, I was at my second ever set championship, and I was playing Ruby Amethyst with Sisu in it. It was during the Bucky era, and all 5 rounds of Swiss I played against Bucky decks. I made it to top 8. I'm playing against Matt. He inks a steel card. I'm like, oh, here we go again. He's playing Sapphire Steel aggro before Kiwi, and he built it. Him and Kurt built it like the day before, and he cooked me with it. I was like, what is this deck? It had the McDuck manners. It was playing Smeeze. It was just aggro. And I was just like, he
All right.
destroyed me.
Okay. But now it gets to that critical moment in time where we got to make some picks, and you got to make your picks. And you got to stand on business, dude. You got to take
Habibi in chat.
I know Habibi's already started.
Least
I'm like,
biased
oh,
casting team. 3 people in
I was
SLTC
actually-
and 1 from Ink. I wonder who they're gonna pick. Well, surprise, Garrison's SLTC too. So we're all gonna go for SLTC.
SLTC, easy
Oh
dub.
my god! I was actually gonna wear my ECB shirt today, just because, like, you know, like, I was just to wear my Enter the Battlefield shirt because, first of all, sickest shirt. You guys, come on.
All right.
It is.
All right.
But we
also
do
too,
have
like,
to pick
SLTC
really
and
quickly.
All right,
Okay.
We're running a little late. I mean, I'm gonna have to go for SLTC mostly because they made it to the finals last season. They've got that hype. They've got that running. Ink, though, it's gonna be close. I'm thinking 2-1, 2-1, 1-2. It's gonna be a really close matchup because Ink is hungry. They're new to the thing.
Yeah.
They took out WCC in the prelim exhibition matches. It's gonna be close, but I think SLTC on the back of Ray is gonna push it over. Garrick.
Okay.
As a member of the SLTC, I love them. I cherish them, and I think they're all great. They're all amazing people. I love all 3 players playing, okay? They're amazing. And I picked them every single time last season. Go back and watch the tape. I was supporting you guys like no other. Like these 3, maybe they picked against you. I never did, okay? But today, it's a little bit different. All right, I got to go with the hometown heroes, Ink. I got to pick my guys, and it's going to be a 3-0 sweep. I believe in the boys.
Wow.
I like that. I like a little bit
All
of the
right.
casting
Curse
of picks.
real? Ooh, someone in chat saying
We
my
about to
caster curse
find
is
out.
still there. I don't know.
Everybody else is going to pick
JDZ is
SLTC,
cooking
so I
people,
got to
so-
go hard for Ink, right?
Okay.
I was
Waller?
actually gonna pick Enter the Battlefield.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna win.
They're
gonna come
cashing
out of
in
nowhere.
Yeah.
the case. to
Maybe he's gonna
play.
come in with a chair or something like
Yeah.
that, and it's just gonna be at the very end, and you're gonna be like,
All right, so we've got 1 SLTC, 1 Ink, 1 ETB. All right, JD, who's gonna win this one? You are the tiebreaker.
World-class cards.
World class cards taking it. No. But here it is. This is week number 1. SLTC, they came out of the gates last season, started super slow. Let's not forget until they turned it around and pushed it all the way to the finals and got those dubs early. Ink, they're hungry. They want the wins. They want to be represented on this big main stage. But I don't think they got what it takes this time. And I think SLTC is going to get it done. The side that they brought, I think Ray is too good. I think Jack Shadows is too good. And I think Fumbles is going to get it done tonight. The luck is going to be a lady tonight. I think SLTC gets it done in 2. Maybe 1 goes down, and that's it. Taking nothing away from Ink. I think they're a phenomenal team, but they're just not ready for the big show just yet. We'll see what it is. Prove yourself. Show me wrong, and let's get it done. SLTC in 2.
On that note,
I'm so scared.
I mean, it's perfect. Hopefully, I'll be back in round 2 with JDZ. Depends on whether or not I'm feeling I can do it or not. But we're going to cut over to Color and Garrick on the match. See you in a little bit.
All right, Color, are you excited? I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. ETB is not in this match, so it is going to be SLTC versus.
I am already incorrect. All right, well, okay. So let's see. We know that Ray plays Spice, so there could be anything in that deck. I'm assuming there's Emerald cards, but that's an assumption that I just made. And Daryl, he's not playing that Max Rarity Blurple deck. What are we doing?
Yeah, I'll be really interested to see what Ray is playing. I know what Daryl's playing. Obviously, I don't know what Ray is bringing, but this is a really interesting matchup. This is a matchup that I was not expecting to see. I was not expecting to see Ray here in the first spot. If I'm being honest with you, I don't know what you were expecting, but I don't think that I was expecting Ray here.
I was expecting to enter the battlefield, so I am probably, honestly, the most shocked out of everybody. But we are re-sleeving some cards.
Re-sleeving the whole deck? Question mark?
Yeah, I think we're re-sleeving. We've got some situations going on with our sleeves, so let's get some ones that look better on the screen, I suppose.
I do love the Final Fantasy playmat that Ray is rocking there. That is from Final Fantasy 16. Amazing game. I mean, speaking of Final Fantasy, we were talking about Kingdom Hearts earlier.
Absolutely.
Could potentially see these characters make it into Disney Lorcana. I don't think it's too far-fetched. Never? You don't think it's ever happening?
Because I want it so bad.
Oh,
and anything that I want
you're
that
holding
badly.
Us back, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's just because, like, you were talking about Fumbles luck. My luck is the worst. Yeah, but no, any Kingdom Hearts would be good. Like I said, the Donald Sorcerer Enchanted is my absolute favorite Enchanted in this game. I don't own one, but actually I own the painting from Ink of the Donald Sorcerer because it looks so much like Kingdom Hearts Donald to me, because he has this little thing and everything. So that's why that's my favorite Enchanted, because again, Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorites. So if we could get that into the game, I would be very happy.
Yeah, I had to get that Donald Duck like as soon as possible. I bought it off of one of my teammates who was lucky enough to open it up, because Donald is not only my favorite character, but everything you just said. Seeing him with the staff,
so good.
Being a wizard, it was just like it brought back all the memories. And of course, we do also have the Goofy Knight, right?
I know. I need an Enchanted so they can go together. I want them to go together because I look at the Donald Enchanted and I'm like, can you please cure me, please?
Yes,
please
stop casting Fire. I got the damage, Donald.
Yeah,
I need some healing.
What I do.
Am I casting heal on myself? That's the real question. Nobody knows what Goofy's doing. He's
and then you go down and then he heals you and you're like, what? Like you're in the air. You're like going back and then all of a sudden your whole body turns green and you're just like, now you do it. Now you do it, my guy. Thanks for the slow motion heal after. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, as soon as I land the last hit. Thank you, Donald. You came through for me for the one time. But yeah, that would be amazing to see. Let's get one for each and then have them all be connected. But I mean, we've seen the Kendall Hale altars at Gen Con. I got an altar.
Rogue.
Yeah, I got an altar of Hans pulling back with the Keyblade, and people are like, Hans with the Keyblade, that doesn't make any sense. But if you're a Kingdom Hearts truther and you've been playing the games, you know that the villains get their hands on Keyblades many, many times, and then when they go to swing them, they disappear at the last second because they're not worthy. So I thought it was still thematic, and it's a really dynamic pose. So shout out to Kendall.
I was going to say, every time I see Kendall Hill, I walk by the booth and I'm like, one day I'm going to get the Mickey Artful Rogue Enchanted with like the Keyblade thing. And he's like, I'll do it for you right now. And I'm like, I'm poor, but thank you. Like I will keep saving for this because I love it. I think I saw it at Instagram the first time and I like turned inside out and then I realized it was Kendall Hale. And then every time I'm always like, can I budget this? And I'm like, no, not today, but
one day.
One day, yes.
It will happen. At least the Artful Rogue is a pretty affordable Enchanted. At the end of the day, it's not like a Dumbo, you know, or a Hades or a Maui or a Mufasa, right? So you can get it at least a little bit of value on the Artful Rogue itself.
That would be so good. I could actually take the painting that I have, which is the Donald, which is the sorcerer, and I could get the Artful Rogue altered, and then I could put it in the corner, and then I could put the Enchanted Donald so that it'd be in the same frame, and it'll be my Kingdom Hearts frame.
You know what? It might just be worth to get the Artful Rogue, right? Mm-hmm. You get that altar. Okay. Stick with me. You get an altar of the Donald to put him in his blue outfit, right? And then you just gotta alter the Super Goof because I think that's his only enchantment.
I know.
Somehow make that work.
I know. I was like, if Goofy can get a knight
he needs
enchanted,
another one. Yeah. Maybe the Emerald Champion.
Maybe. But honestly, you know what I could do? I could get an Artful Rogue enchanted now, and then so they breaks up the costs. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's an investment now on the Artful Rogue, and the next time I see Kindle Hail, we'll do the second part of the investment, so I can get all of my Kingdom Hearts memorabilia, Disney, everything, Lorcana all together.
Look at the shuffle on this guy. Ray is cooking with lightning speed. Ka-chow. I cannot shuffle that fast, but
we're making up for lost time. Here we go.
What do you think? What do you think of this re-sleeve effort here? Is he trying to ice us? Like, if I can use an analogy from gotcha. Not branded sleeves, but the analogy was, you know, you're playing football. You're about to kick the field goal. They call a timeout right before. You know, he's trying to ice us. That's what I'm going with.
I don't watch sports, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Just agree.
Okay. Garrett is correct with his sports ball reference.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. It looks like Daryl will be on the approach here. Thinking about that turn 1 ink. This is, I mean, games can be won or lost on turn 1 with that first ink.
I know.
No. Is he thinking about altering, actually?
I am not sure what is happening. There could be a judge call for all we know. But at the same time, I think the players are keeping very patient. Probably, honestly, I'm dying. Normally we have the deck list by now. Okay, we're going to ink a Monstro. Woo!
There's the turn 1 Monstro ink. Really good for turn 1 ink. And the Rafiki comes down onto the board. What do you prefer as going into the board? Oh, we see a Maui Shark. We see a Ruby.
Maui Shark into the inkwell. Ruby! Ruby Emerald. Okay, so we're going to play a Bobby Zimmerowski. We're going to draw a card, then discard a Max Goof. We are doing singing and Emerald and songs. This is going to be crazy.
Yeah, that's really cool to see. I will say that Daryl did... Oh, and he misses the ramp.
Oh, no.
My heart. My heart. He misses the ramp, but Daryl does have a lot of experience with this deck. He was working with another one of my teammates to really try and make this deck work as well as possible. So he has played this deck a bunch and played against this deck a bunch. So it's assuming that, you know, it's playing Ruby and Emerald cards that sing songs, which is looking like what we're going to get here. And we are inking and passing again. Not like this.
There are no 3-drops in that deck, unfortunately. So hopefully what happens when somebody can go to turn... If they miss turn 2 ramp and they're not able to get to 4 ink, sometimes they're able to draw that next card and it will be Sail and it will be Tipo or something like that. But unfortunately, we did not see that here. So we're just going to ink and pass for the second turn in a row. And now Ray has Bobby, Powerline, and Clarabelle, which he probably got to play, trigger, and draw a card to kind of keep up with his hand. So unfortunately, Daryl is in a horrific start, but a good start for us to see what this Christmas deck is going to do.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, even if Daryl did have a better start, the Ruby Emerald deck does have a pretty good matchup into the Blurple. There's not a lot of ways for the Blurple deck to interact with their singers before you shift the power line, as we do here, the world's greatest rock star. We will see what he is able to sing. It is a B King Undisputed, so I think that Rafiki's probably going to go. We're going to look at the top cards of our deck and see if we can find another song to play for free.
Are we going to hit? Please don't whiff. Not the first time in the ICL, and it does whiff! Powerline, how dare you? Oh, I'm so bummed. So yes, you get to look at the top 3 to 4 cards of your library and then sing a song for free. But unfortunately, we did not find, and so all of those cards just go to the bottom of your deck, and you get to pass the turn without the value.
Yep, we are back in Ariel Spectacular Singer times, where your card that looks at the top 4 looking for a song does not hit. Daryl has the opportunity to cleanly trade here a 6-4 and a 4-6. So that is an even trade. As we do put the Elsa down onto the board, we can remove the Bobby here. And we do have to look out for that Clarabelle shift line. But after that whiff, Daryl not looking like he's in the worst position here.
Unless we see another B King Undisputed, which would be absolutely terrible. However, we do see the Elsa come down, and we're just going to go for the You're Welcome. So no matter what deck we see this combo shift Clarabelle sing You're Welcome in, it is devastating for the opponent, because now we're going to get to draw 2 cards and then pass our turn and draw up to as many cards. Ray's ready. Ray's already doing it. He knows how this works.
Ray's drawing 4 cards because Daryl will have 5 in his hand, and Ray only had the 1. Daryl's going to cut his deck, draw 2, and then will draw for turn. That was the best thing that Ray could have possibly had on that turn, and Daryl would have loved to get rid of that Clarabelle, but unfortunately the Elsa did not have enough strength to take it out. That Clarabelle is a 2/3.
And we can sing, hard play the Into the Unknown potentially to get rid of it, or we can play a TikTok down just to kind of give us an extra turn. Hopefully we can get rid of it. But at this point, the Clarabelle draw has done its damage. We got the cards. We got what we needed. And the second phase of this deck's plan is underway.
Yes, absolutely. The Max Goofs are really interesting. Speaking of Max Goof, here he comes, and that is not a card that you want questing. The Mother Knows Best comes down. That is going to help control things, keep Daryl's hand healthy. That way Ray can keep his hand healthy off the back of this Clarabelle. So he is going to draw 3 here, and the Max Goof, once it quests, will get one of those songs back from the discard pile, play it for free, and then put it to the bottom of Ray's deck. So it's really, really powerful. Daryl needs to put something on the board that is going to be more proactive than a TikTok. Otherwise, that card's just going to be returned to his hand or returned to his deck with the "You're welcome." And there's the Hades, the Infernal Schemer, the beautiful new Enchanted. What do you think he wants to go for here?
It's the Max Goof, unfortunately, I think, because at that point, you're about to just have your Hades put back to your hand, or you're going to get Be King Undisputed, because we still have that in the discard, and Max will be able to get that back. So we do go for the Max, knowing that we just spent our entire turn to spend 7 ink to get this Hades out, only to have it Be King Undisputed, and we're going to have to put that right into our discard. So unfortunately, the Clarabelle does not get banished, and we can still continue to get value off of old girl here.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And the Clarabelle, if you're not able to deal with it, can be so punishing. And we're gonna put out the Donald Duck, the double Donald gentleman. Comes onto the board and will be drawing more cards for both players. It is a May effect, so Daryl can choose to not draw additional cards, but then you're giving Ray more fuel in his hand while your hand is getting smaller. But then you also have to consider, if your hand's bigger, that means Clarabelle will be feasting even more. So answering the Clarabelle here is really, really important. We're going to quest with the Hades.
I'm drawing. You give me double Donald, I don't even care. You can have your whole deck. I don't know what's in that thing. Because now I've drawn 2 Hades. Thank you. Thanks for your welcome. Thanks for everything else. And again, I mean, the Blurple top end of the deck is very powerful. And unfortunately, I mean, in most situations, this is a rogue deck. We're not going to know what the top end looks like. So maybe Clarabelle is the worst thing that we have to be kind of afraid of at this point. However, the top end of Blurple, Hades after Bell, after somebody bounced to Hades, and it's just, there's so many things at the top end of a Blurple deck. Giving them 2 cards a turn is terrifying. Now, if there's a card potentially like Bend to My Will, which is a card that Ray would totally play, then now we're getting to a different situation where I don't care how many cards it's draw your whole deck. Draw your whole deck. I dare you. I dare you.
Yeah, Daryl was considering whether or not to draw there, does decide to go for the 2 cards. Ray now infinite ink to do whatever he wants.
I didn't even get to infinite ink. Oh, right, because of the infinite Hades.
Yeah.
Shark.
We are potentially singing, or are we just questing?
I think we're questing, because that is 4 lore, because Donald has 2 lore each. So that's insane. This little card is doing so much damage, but instead we are going to sing Stop Chaos in its tracks, where we just bounce 2. Is it? There's no condition. It's just bounce up to 2 characters back to your hand.
It's I believe it's 3 characters, 3
up to 3
strength or less back to your opponent's hand. So decides to sing that with the Donalds, refilling the hand of Daryl and gaining a lore off of the Maui Shark. That's probably the first lore a Maui Shark has gained, in all of Fabled.
All of set 9, Maui Shark finally gained a lore on a stream, and we're just going to sail. We're going to safely sail this turn, dig a little bit deeper into our deck to see which one of these threats is actually the most threatening. Is it the shark? It has to be the shark. But the Donalds are super aggravating.
Yeah,
So-
it definitely is the shark. You also have to consider that a max goof can be shifted now. I think that's probably what Ray was setting up here. He put the Maui Shark out there as a threat, maybe to distract from the max goof. So we have the Donald Duck trigger here. Again, it is a May ability. Ray opting to take the additional cards.
Yeah, I don't know if our lore counters are correct at this point, but there we go. We have Daryl has a lore, and then we also know for a fact that Maui Shark has a, oh my goodness. And then your welcome comes in to go ahead and get rid of that pesky Hades, and which was going to shuffle that back into our deck, draw 2 cards, and we're looking at Daryl's deck, and it's not for a, is it double sleeved? Because it's not looking like a thick deck anymore.
Not a lot of cards in there. Been drawing a significant amount based on all of these emerald cards. The Donalds, the You're Welcomes, and here we have the Clarabelle coming back down onto the board. I'm sure Daryl anticipated this, opting not to take the draws off of the Donalds. Again, that is a May effect. And we have enough ink here to put a max goof down the good old-fashioned way. Don't even need to shift it. So we play Clarabelle, we play Max, and we keep it pushing. Now you're really, really wide, and you're really tall. It's really tough for Blurple to deal with things like this. So we will see if Daryl is able to do something here. Monstro is probably something that he needs pretty soon to try and deal with this board.
Pretty soon, but everything on that board does have quite a lot of strength, you know, at this point. I mean, I'm pretty sure even up, oh my gosh. So I would say that, look at this pie. I'm sorry, I got very distracted by the insane amount of ink that Ray has in this deck for it not being a ramp deck. And it's because he keeps bouncing the Hades back to hand and bouncing and everything. And so Blurple has given him more ink than any Illumineer needs to really have in this color combination.
And he's going to draw 1 million cards for his turn and pass it on over to Daryl. Yeah, I mean, at this point, Ray's got way more ink. He's got way more board presence and way more options. He's just been going through more cards because he's been making Daryl replay cards, replay cards, replay cards. I'm refilling my hand every single turn. So Ray just completely in the driver's seat. It really started at turn 2 when Daryl did miss that rank. Unfortunately, things just snowballed out of control for him. But this isn't the easiest matchup against non-steel decks, right? When your characters can survive to shift, it makes it a lot easier to sing and make use of the power line. But we're seeing the incredible power of Clarabelle, still one of the best cards in the game.
Absolutely. And when that Clarabelle comes down and your opponent draws all of those cards after all of that hard work, that is so, like, look how many cards they have in their hands because of the first Clarabelle, because of the second Clarabelle, and because of all of the Hades that keep being played over and over and over. The amount of ink available to Ray to continuously play out his entire hand on his turn is ridiculous. And we do see the Hades come down for the 4th time in this game, and going ahead and making sure we respect the Max Goof, respect all those silly songs in there, because Max Goof can sing everything all the way from Sudden Chill up to You're Welcome. Not Stopped Chaos, though. That cost 8, but everything else in there, you can see where You're Welcome again, Be King again, you could anything, all those terrible songs in between for free. So we'll go ahead and let Clarabelle ride, but Max Goof has got to go.
Yeah, Daryl just searching for any answers. Like I said, Monstro would be pretty good here, especially if all of those cards get exerted next turn, can really start crashing into those cards and clearing the board. But Ray still in the driver's seat here. Like, look how much ink he has, and drawing more cards off the Donalds, always drawing more cards off the Clarabelles. And the Donalds are even better because of all the ink he has in his inkwell. He can just ink and play as many cards as he wants from his hand and just redraw and refill with the Clarabelle. And Daryl just hasn't been able to choose the Clarabelle because of the threat of Max. You can only play 1 Hades a turn, which means the Max just gets so much value if it is able to quest. And there's another You're Welcome. Daryl is just caught in a genjutsu right now. He is caught in an infinite loop. He cannot escape unless he scoops at this point.
And that's kind of the problem with this deck, right? Is if Daryl was playing a quicker deck, I don't think that this Ruby Emerald deck would have had the space to be like this, because unfortunately this is basically really reminiscent of how Emerald Steel used to be, right? We're like, okay, I've controlled the game, but I'm gonna win so slow that you scoop before I get to 20.
Yeah, exactly. Just a complete stranglehold on the Blurple deck right now as another Donald comes down onto the board. And why don't we just make it the fourth
Donald? We were talking about how much we love Donald. Well, let's see what you have in your hand. What's in your hand? Is it two into the unknowns? No. Okay.
Triple into the unknowns.
But look how beautiful that hand is. He has 3 into the unknowns. He has his Elsa promo, and he has the Finders and Keepers enchanted, and I love it. Ray's board is disgusting. I don't understand what's happening. Garrick, help.
I can't help anyone here. Ray is the people's champion right now, just completely dominating this game. It's a wonderful Christmas time. It's Christmas in October, as you can see right now with the Ruby Emerald deck. No single player brought this deck to the DLC over the weekend. Not a single Illumineer brought it. And Ray showing, hey, maybe there's some legs. Maybe you can do something with this list, especially into Blurple. We saw it. It was complete, total, utter domination in this matchup. Again, Daryl did miss the ramp on 2, but had no chance to do anything in that game. The power of the draw, the power of making your opponent put things back into their hand and draw off Clarabelle was just too much for the Blurple deck to overcome.
But now we know we are playing into Ruby Emerald, and it is going to be imperative that we hit that turn 2 ramp. That way we don't sit there, do nothing on turn 2, and also nothing on turn 3, unfortunately. So getting that ramp is going to be very, very imperative. And also, too, we know Elsa's going to be good. It's going to be able to turn the power line sideways, or exert the power line so we can get rid of it before we're able to shift. There's a lot of things that we can do now that we know what we're playing against, and now we know what this deck is. And like you said, Daryl has experience with this deck, so he's able to identify the threats. He's able to identify what he needs to get rid of, as we saw with the respecting the max goof over and over again, respecting the power line, letting Clarabelle ride, which is kind of, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, that is very much an Emerald Steel thing, which is Ray's kind of wheelhouse. Putting so many threats on the board that you have to do a proper threat assessment and you're still cooked, essentially. Yeah. Because back in the day, you throw down Diablo, you throw down an Ursula 3. Which one's the worst one?
Maybe both. I hope Ray knows what he has unleashed here, because without a doubt, we will be seeing Ruby Emerald.
I know, at such
in Milwaukee,
near you, yeah.
At such champs in Milwaukee, somebody's bringing this list. They're like, I saw what it did against Blurple. Everybody's playing Blurple. All I have to do is play against Blurple and Emerald Sapphire all day, and I will top. Believe it. Believe in the heart of the card.
I've said this a million times, even tonight. If you see this deck list and you pick it up, you will not be able to pilot it the way that Ray does. I promise you. I've fallen victim to that so many times, where I'm like, Ray, send me that list. I'm going to cook. And then I get cooked. And I'm like, I don't understand how you do this. He's like, I don't know. I shifted Diablo 9 out of 10 times. Why? Just shift Diablo. Like, I haven't even seen so
I asked Ray for one of his deck lists last week. I'm in the same boat as you. How does this win games? Meanwhile, you watch him play it, and all he does is win games. So shout out to Ray, amazing deck builder, unique mind, and one of the coolest players in Disney Lorcana. We will see if Daryl is able to bring it back, force a game number 3. He's going to be on the play again. We will see if he is able to find that ramp as the Enchanted Bell goes into the Inkwell. The Basil comes down on turn number 1. And we are going to pass it on over to Ray. I think the Basil is a really good option here in this over the Rafiki, because you can use it in tandem with the Elsa to remove something like that 2/3 Clarabelle, which we saw Daryl could not remove and really snowballed the game out of his favor in the last match, as we do find the turn 2 ramp this game.
We do find it. It is here. It's awesome. And also, Daryl has about a car payment's worth of cards in his Inkwell with the Bell and the Dumbo.
Yep. A little more than a car payment. Actually,
Honestly,
probably
what
2
kind of
card
card? Yeah, I was going to say
payments.
2 card payments. Yeah, like, sorry, what kind of card do you have? We are going to see. What are we going to see from this deck on turn 2? Is it going to be a power line? Hopefully.
is.
And it is. Perfect. Power line is a shift 4. So we'll see that happen in a few turns.
Yeah, we will see if he is able to get to that. But the Elsa can stop him in his tracks. I think this is a pretty good quest from Daryl here as well. The odds that power line goes into that Basil, not super high.
Yeah, I don't think that we're going to take that trade unless potentially we have another power line to finish up the job. But it is a singer 4, so we can sing Be King Undisputed here because we see another power line into the Inkwell, and we are going to play a Max Goof, which is also a singer 300.
5.
I'm pretty sure he's a
Singer
5.
5.
Okay, yeah. I know everything they printed on Ruby cards this set were singer. And I have been wanting to utilize that, which I'm hoping in Whispers of the Well, because I don't have the deck building prowess that Ray has to be able to build a Ruby Song deck this set. But give me 300 more cards. Give me Whispers in the Well. I'll do something. I need some more training wheels. I'm not Ray. I need some more training wheels. However, we got a lot of goofy movie stuff going on, and that's really what I appreciate about Fabled is all of the goofy movie.
Yeah, all we got to do is listen to each other's hearts, draw some cards off the top of our deck, and return everything to our opponent's hand. I believe those are the lyrics of that song.
The official lyrics, yes.
Yeah. This turn, Daryl is on 5. We can find the Elsa and get rid of that power line. Then you always got to worry about that max shift as well, but there are no songs right now in the discard to worry about.
Yeah, we didn't actually see. There is that 3-cost max where when you play him, you can pay 1 ink to return a song card from your discard to your hand. And I love that card, but I always forget that it costs 1 ink, and I cook myself. But we are going to play the Elsa and exert the power line, respecting that power line shift once more, because our singer Max can sing us something. We can shift a power line, quest it, and go on and do a bunch of other crazy things. So again, Max Goof, not so bad right now, not with anything in the discard. Power line, pretty scary.
Yeah, 100%. I think taking that out with the Iago was also a pretty good move from Daryl. Keep that Elsa a little healthier. You do miss out on a lore this way, but I think it is the right move at the end of the day. And I also agree with questing with the Basil here, because if that is taken by the Max Goof, it's a free and easy trade on your side of the board with the Elsa.
Yeah, you can go ahead and crack back. And to be fair, though, if you're going to crack back with the Elsa, he is a 4-strength character, so it's not nothing. So hopefully Daryl has a bell in hand to maybe do some moving of damage to be able to get some favorable trades on that Max Goof. If it is exerted this turn, which it looks like it's about to do stuff and things. So we'll see.
Singing could be challenging. You know what it's not doing? Moving to a location. Not because there are no locations, but it literally cannot do that.
It literally cannot do that. And so we do play a Bobby Zaborowski, the Cheese Whiz Kid, as we draw a card and discard potentially a song or a Clarabelle.
Clarabelle. We must have a lot of Clarabelles in our hand. As I believe that is the Contented Wallflower comes down. But we will not be drawing any cards as Daryl only has 2. Daryl would love to answer this. And like you mentioned, the bell could be that answer. Come down and move this 3 damage. We're exerting 4 for a Dumbo. So we'll draw at least 1 here.
Absolutely. Go ahead. Make sure you play your Dumbos when you have enough ink and evasive characters to utilize that ability. Please get your value out of your Dumbos. They're ungodly priced. And so we're going to go ahead and ink and get another card. Pay 1, draw 1, gain 1. Am I right here?
Pay 1, draw 1, gain 1. I'm paying 1, I'm drawing 1, I'm gaining 1 over here. Daryl, interestingly, does go for that, finds the value in that additional card, but has to know there's a Clarabelle shift coming down on this turn. Daryl, with 3 cards in hand, I'm not sure the card count for Ray. I'd say it's maybe 2, but it looks like we're singing Under the Sea, which does remove the Basil and the Elsa pretty cleanly.
Absolutely. Yep.
Leaving Ray with 1 card.
And Under the Sea does say that you get to choose the order that you want your opponent to put their cards under their deck, and Daryl respecting that. But then we're going to see a Mother Knows Best coming through, and we're going to go ahead and get that Iago, which even though Iago has vanished, the Mother Knows Best actually resolves first. Iago goes back to your hand, and then the vanish effect, but then it's not there, so your Iago actually doesn't have to vanish.
Yep. Ray just trying to get a card count from Daryl here because Ray will get to draw cards. I believe it's 5 that Ray is going to get from the Clarabelle. That card there on Daryl's left is the card for turn. That is not ink, but we're waiting on something. Maybe Ray froze. It looks like maybe that was the case. Okay.
So Ray's now Under the Sea, and we're going to have to wait for him to come back.
He under the sea himself.
Yes, he under the sea his own internet connection, which we've all been there. It's absolutely gut-wrenching to have your internet do this while on the ICL. I've had that from casting, player perspective, all of it. It is awful. And hopefully Ray is not as much of a panicker as I am, because I am in full freak out mode when this happens to me. Just absolutely losing my mind.
Ray seems like the type of guy to stay calm under pressure. So I think he's over here. Pressure makes diamonds at the end of the day. Daryl putting a dice on that card to denote that is the card he is drawing for turn. Hades on this turn would be nice to get rid of that Clarabelle. But let's also keep in mind that inking the Clarabelle will ink 2 cards because it was shifted. And we saw how Ray was able to take advantage and make use of all that ink during game number 1. All that extra ink that Daryl was able to give him made so many opportunities come open for Ray that he was able to use in the late game. So we have to be aware of that, but it's not like you can just let Clarabelle sit out there and draw 100 cards either.
No, then that's the problem, right? And back in past sets, we were always like, oh, wouldn't it be cute if we took Ruby and Emerald and put them together and created a deck? Then I would draw 0 cards and not be able to play the game. However, Clarabelle into this, going at and doing the You're Welcome thing, and then Max being able to get that You're Welcome back to be able to then like put more cards into your opponent's hand, even with the Donald being reprinted, which I think we overlooked that card for a lot of ways, because a lot of us have this internal, I don't want to give my opponent anything unless I'm going to bend to my will. And I think I said that earlier.
The only thing I want to give my opponent is some L's. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I want you to lose. I don't want to give you more cards. But again, that's, kind of like that counterintuitive thing where every card that you take, I'm going to get more value off of my Clarabelle. And if I'm throwing cards like Max Goof and Powerline that are needing to be answered as much as a Clarabelle, then now my Clarabelle is actually a little bit safer than she was before. Except because most decks you see running her, that's the star, right? That is the absolute star of the deck. You see that card, you Hades it, move on, game over. Now there's a little bit of threat balance.
Down. There's the Into the Unknown, removing the Clarabelle. So it wasn't the Hades, but we do reestablish the Iago when we get 3 cards out of our hand on that turn. If another Clarabelle were to come down, Daryl always keeping that in the back of his mind. We did see that Ray has a GoPro camera. I wonder if it is strapped to his head. If so, he's got the steadiest head.
I was going to say the posture is
the posture is crazy. And
now,
he's got no shakes, no movement.
I want to see that Max Goof shift. We've been talking about it this whole game. I want to see it. I was able to afford that card, and then all of a sudden, LD did some crazy stuff with it. Emerald Steel.
There it is.
And we see him come down. Max Goof. He is going to be able to quest and get back a song, which I'm assuming is probably going to either be Mother Knows Best or You're Welcome.
I believe that's the only option. The Mother Knows Best right now, and that does go to the bottom. So the Iago's going to go into the hand. That does stall Daryl out just a little bit, but with no Clarabelle on the board, it's harder to take advantage of this. Does he have the Hades to punish? He doesn't.
He has Iago. Finders Keepers, my second favorite enchanted. Actually, by the way, same artist as the Donald enchanted, by the way.
Oh, interesting.
Love it. Absolutely. Sorry.
Anyway, there's a boss battle in Kingdom Hearts 1 where you have to shoot Iago with your magic as he's carrying the lamp. So you could get a nice little altar. There's some room in the bottom right.
There is.
Just throwing that out there.
Because the Illumineer actually does look like the area with the gummy ship.
You're spitting.
Okay.
We're spitting.
All right, Donald. Not
we draw
Donald,
the card
Dumbo.
with Dumbo. We're probably looking for an answer to this max goof in the form of Hades. We don't find it. Iago makes his third appearance. Speaking of Iago, there's the Rafiki coming down onto the board as well. We're going to ink the Growing Boy and pass it on over. I believe we have another Dumbo and a Finder's Keepers. Is that right? I forgot already.
Yeah, doing great. Got it. Kingdom Hearts always wipes the brain, but then we're coming back to Ray's turn. A massive, critical mass of ink going on for Ray because we keep bouncing these cards. We saw the Into the Unknown come down. And again, that's kind of the situation with Clarabelle is basically when you have Clarabelle and you get that trigger one time and you're welcome their stuff, you're going to refill your hand and everything in your hand is now for the second part of the game. So we see you're under the sea.
Under the sea, sending just the Rafiki back. Clarabelle comes down.
I have one card. How many do you have, Daryl? So I'll draw one. I'm so glad Diablo's gone for that reason because Ray was like, I'll draw when you draw. And you're like, okay, I'll start my current turn. And he just comes out of the rafters. And he's like, I draw when you draw. I'm like, yes, we know. Yes, we know. That's the trigger for Diablo. Thank you.
I get it.
Yeah. Draw when you draw. I'm like, please don't. Please don't. I'm already
double Bobby Zimmerowski quest and a pass. So right now, both players, very few cards in hand. This is a game of inches right now. It doesn't look like Daryl was super pleased with the card he got off the top, but does have the opportunity to draw 2 here and pay 2 with the Dumbos to do so. But we're going for 5. It might just be the Finder's Keepers. No, it's the Elsa the Fifth Spirit. Beautiful new foil, glimmer foil. And one of the best cards in the game. We're going to get rid of that max goof. It's exerting too much pressure right now. Too high a singer. Bringing back songs. Enough, says Daryl. Get it off the board. And I think that was the right decision. These cards have a lot of damage on them now. But we haven't seen a lot of evasive threats on the side of Ray outside of that Maui Shark.
And we do know that Daryl has 4 beautiful Bell Enchanteds in their deck. So that damage could really, really do a lot of work here. However, it's interesting to me, we exerted the Clarabelle, but we did not challenge the Clarabelle. So I'm wondering, nope, okay, we're just going to play another Clarabelle.
Yep,
he's
draw
like, I have one
card. And the board is getting wide.
Bobby!
As another Bobby comes down. We're cycling through the deck. Love to find a big Clarabelle here, light on her hooves. That is what.
That's all 4 Bobbies on to the thing. The Cheese Whiz Kid is now a little bit of a mob. You know, it's fine.
Yeah,
please put all the Bobbies together. Please put all the Bobbies together.
Ray onto the board, and 4 Donalds, 4 Bobbies. Why not?
Somewhere in the world, Pauly Shore just went, huh.
You wonder why we're always wearing gloves. As we pass it on over to Daryl, who still just has that Finder's Keepers in the hand, not super useful right now, but needs to make some kind of work of this board. Again, Monstro, a potential card that could come down here and try to swing things.
Good.
Yeah, sweet. Swing things into his favor. Would have a very, very full belly. We are going to draw a card and search further into the deck. I think I just saw an Elsa Spirit of Winter come into the hand as the Finder's Keepers goes into the inkwell, as we might see $800 come down onto the board.
And the Spirit of Winter is here. Now, are we going to pick Bobby, or Bobby? Okay, the 2 Clarabelles actually make the most sense for that situation. And then we are going to, let me arrange my Bobbies. And we're going to put our Ursula Sea Witch right in the middle of this. But do you think that he's offering her Cheese Whiz right now? How do you feel like Ursula would go over with that?
Cheese Whiz in under the sea, salt
under
water.
the sea. Yeah,
seems like the worst possible snack. I think she would be disgusted by it. I think she might do villainous things to the poor Bobby. He's just,
well, she's not going to do anything if Dumbo challenges in and gets rid of the Ursula because we only want 1 damage on
Clarabelles do need to remain exerted.
Oh, so yeah, we're going to have to keep those down. They are frozen. And
they have been frozen for sure. Frozen 2, if you will.
Frozen 2. Ray's just gonna have to not exert them and just let that go until next turn.
Yeah, Daryl in a much better position here.
Yes.
We're seeing Ray not able to find that powerful power line shift, not able to find that powerful Clarabelle shift, but the Bobby army is in full force here. and is spraying that Cheese Whiz all over. And take a look at the lore right now. We're at 13, and Daryl needs to get these Cheese Whiz kids off the board as soon as humanly possible as a Tipo growing boy goes into the inkwell.
That is game on board with all the Bobby army, is it not?
Yep.
That is insane. Because again, Donald, the perfect gentleman, has the perfect amount of lore at 2. So wild ability and also 2 lore at the same time, which is incredible for a little card we ignored for decades. Woo-hoo!
Here comes that Hades Infernal Schemer, removing the Donald and the 2 lore off the board. I say let's get rid of one of these Clarabelles for sure. Probably want to get rid of both. Daryl does have the option to draw additional cards with Dumbo if he would like this turn. But also, like you said, needs to consider the board. Ray with 1 card in hand right now.
And Ray does have an infinite amount of ink to be able to just play a Clarabelle without shifting. It doesn't really matter if he shifts at that point. At this point, the Clarabelles just kind of represent 2 to 3 extra lore if he does end up shifting to quest immediately. So that's the only reason I think I would be scared of that, is that kind of sneaky last little lore that you can get out by just shifting the Clarabelle. And we are going to take down another Bobby and to put our Rafiki out, which is going to do some challenging next turn. And Daryl's board is looking pretty wide, pretty thick. Was it?
Yeah,
you said tall,
yeah.
Tall.
It's tall and it's wide. Daryl now in the driver's position, now in the driver's seat. There's no way that Ray can end the game on this turn, I don't believe. Even if he had the Clarabelle shift, he would need 10 ink and a double shift Clarabelle. Would that do it? 2, 4, 5, 6?
Yeah, you would need 10 ink to be able to double shift those Clarabelles, unfortunately. And that would still only, stop chaos
singing
for full back. We're not singing anything. We were
no, we're playing it. You're right. We
playing
are.
Our stop chaos, and you can have that Hades back. It doesn't bother me. And then are we going to put the Rafiki back into our hand? Interesting. All right. We said, you know what? You can have your Hades. You can have your Rafiki.
But it's not enough. Daryl still had enough to win the game on the board. And Ray says, let's go to game number 3. Those were an interesting first 2 games. I mean, Daryl didn't find everything that he wanted, but that Elsa was sure huge in the second game. Ray would have loved to have more Clarabelles, more of that power line shift, but Daryl going first, able to remove the power line before it could be shifted, and the Max really didn't have the songs to take advantage of the amount of time that Max was on the board. So really interesting match there. Things went in Daryl's favor for the most part, and Ray is going to want to find those stronger cards towards the later stages of the game instead of, 4 Bobbies. That's probably not exactly what you want.
No, I wouldn't think so at all. But now we are going to go all important game 3 of round 1 of the ICL on a Tuesday. What is it? Throwing up on a Tuesday? I don't know. I can't.
ICL on a Tuesday.
All right.
Let's go.
All right.
Game number 3. You love to see it. We always love to see game number 3, match number 3, as Ray looks like he's sending 4. Daryl is sending 4 as well. So it looks like Daryl probably does have the ramp this time. We are not going to have a repeat of game 1, but Daryl will be on the draw for the first time. Won the dice roll, was able to go first, but lost that first game to Ray. So now is being punished for that and has to play the final game on the draw against the Emerald Ruby deck.
And I want to see, because we're going to bank a shark and pass. I don't know how many 1-drops are in this deck. Maybe just the Clarabelle, but we are going to go ahead and start off with a Basil on Daryl's side. And how much time is left over? I have no idea, actually.
As much time as these gentlemen need is what I say. Oh, yeah. We are doing nothing on 1. We're doing nothing on turn 2 as the Tipo is going to hit the inkwell. And we are going to sail the Azurite Sea. People have been calling for bans on this card.
It's too good. It's too inkable, but we're not going to worry about that. That is another fight, because I don't want to agree, but I want to agree. I don't want to agree, but
we're going to move right past it as the power line goes into the inkwell. I'd be curious to know if that power line was available for turn 2. You got to think if it was, it probably would have hit the board as the contended Wallflower is going to come down, setting up that potential shift. But before we get there, Daryl will be on that 5 ink Elsa opportunity as the genie comes down and draws an additional card. We'll see if the answer is available for Daryl to prevent that devastating shift line from coming down.
Yeah, and it does look like we're probably going to go ahead and Mother Knows Best to get rid of that genie, which is going to slow Daryl down for a turn. But again, we're probably just going to see that genie later.
Ooh, we ink a Clarabelle, which most certainly means we have another in hand, and we have the second contended Wallflower on the board, which means we are going to see the Clarabelle shift. Daryl's got to be feeling pretty bad about that right at this moment because, like I said, we can get rid of one, but not both. So that Clarabelle's going to hit the board, and Ray is going to draw a significant amount of cards here on this next turn. It's exactly what he wanted to set up. It's exactly what he wanted to see early on. And playing out these contended Wallflowers means they are a lot more durable than the clumsy guest.
Yep. And then we do see that is kind of the Emerald Sapphire strategy too, is like you just a max amount of Clarabelles at the very beginning of the game to ensure that shift by 5 ink. And again, that might have been why we saw the power line go into the inkwell, opting to be able to ink. Our hand might be a little uninkable, and if we were to play a turn 2, it might have actually meant that we were going to have to ink one of these contended Wallflowers and push us into a position where we wouldn't have been able to set this up specifically. So I'm actually interested to see if this was an intentional decision to skip turn 1 and 2, or if that's just the way the cards fell.
Yeah, and Daryl, looking for more answers here, uses the Dumbo ability to draw an additional card. We did see Into the Unknown go into the inkwell, and look at those cards, man. 5 in hand right now. Ray's got to be salivating at the mere thought of all the cards he is about to draw on this next turn. Again, he's got... Okay, he's only drawn 2. That's not too bad.
It's okay, but we do put the perfect gentleman down. So Donald is back. Powerline is back. But again, that gave him the ability to draw 2 cards and keep his hand quite healthy with the Donald there as well. So we do see a second Elsa 5th Spirit come down. Probably best card in the game. However, what are we doing? What are we doing? Are we going to take out that Clarabelle?
Do you have the Into the Unknown to sing?
Ooh, that is a very, very annoying combo. But when Elsa sings Into the Unknown, I think it's fine. I think it works out.
Ray should ink those cards.
Yep,
there we go. We're
All
going
right.
to draw an additional with the Dumbo, doing what Dumbo does. It's a really good card if it sticks onto the board for too long. It's like a Diablo, but not as devastating.
No, right.
If you keep it out there for too long, it can really, really punish you as Daryl reorients his Elsa there in a better position. But we could see a power line shift. We have the Donald Duck trigger. Daryl can draw a card, and Ray will draw 2 for his turn. If the power line shift comes down, it can be devastating.
Now, is that a second Elsa on board with
there it
his
is.
hand? There is that
Yep,
power line,
that's
world's
the second
greatest
Elsa.
rock star, and he's going to go ahead and sing
Under the
song.
Sea here would be
Because
brutal.
it's Under the Sea. 2 Elsas and a Basil on the bottom of your deck. And now we're going to look at the top 4, and please do not whiff. Don't do this to me again. I want to see this. We're going to be King Undisputed. That's crazy. Be King Undisputed. Respected, saluted Donald Dumbo. I'm too excited. He's in the discard.
The 9th Wonder of the Universe, becoming the 3rd card in the discard pile. As Donald Duck is going to go on a free quest, get Ray onto the board. We're going to take a look at Daryl's hand as well. Do we get another Into the Unknown? We do.
Absolutely. I mean, look at those enchanteds. I would also be death gripping the Into the Unknowns at this point, but we do get punished with that Ursula. Just a little sneak Ursula just right at the very end, which is a Hades. So goodbye, Powerline. You did the coolest thing in the world as the world's greatest rock star, but now you're the world's inked-ist rock star. So workshop that. Sorry, guys.
We're testing things out.
I don't know. So the ICL is the first one. I'm working on things, but we do still have Donald, Ursula, and Hades on Showdown.
Yep. This is the position that Ray was in the first game, and we saw how well it went for him. Just a ton of cards in hand, as well as a ton of cards in the Inkwells. We have another Beast King Undisputed.
Oh, so you choose and banish a character, but if you only have one character, you only have one choice. So we do see the Hades into the discard, joining the Donald. And again, is it like 3 months worth of rent in there in the discard?
Oh no, the camera went down, but it's back. Bounce back.
GoPro down. It fell off of his little headlamp thing. He's got. He's playing. Yes.
Something fell off his deck. He went to look real quick. Elsa, Spirit of Winter, is going to come down. That's a nice start, but if you don't have like Ink Play 1-drop, you got to be afraid of another Beast King Undisputed, right?
I mean, if be afraid of a third one. I don't know if I'm playing around a third Beast King Undisputed. He's not got that magic of hands, does he? Does he? Chat, does he? Oh dear. But we do see the Perfect Gentleman exerted and the Maui Shark exerted. But you can still gain lore off of that shark. You can still gain lore.
Yeah, Maui Shark back and better than ever? Probably not, but...
Question mark?
He is
Don't
back.
put that out there, Garrett. Stop. But he's back. He's back. He's beautiful. And we all still have a teeny bit of a PTSD going with this shark. Sorry, I just can't wait to see what Ray is gonna do next. And it's another you're welcome onto this Elsa. Put it back in the deck. Put it back in the deck. Draw 2 cards and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the power of that Under the Sea turn. The power line, able to sing it, not able to remove that power line and the Clarabelle on the same turn, because Ray wisely did not quest with that Clarabelle, which means that the Elsa could not exert the power line. And now we are just getting to the point of the game where things are too wide for Blurple to consistently deal with. And look how big that hand is. We're going to draw, what, 5 for Ray? And then 3 more next turn with the Donald Ducks. Right now, it's just looking pretty doomed for Daryl. We did see a Monstro hit the Inkwell early on.
I mean, Monstro is huge. Unfortunately, Maui's shark is evasive, so we will not be taking out the shark, which is kind of the most annoying target in this situation. Potentially, I mean, at this point, Max Goof can get things back from the discard. Shark can get things back from the discard. We are... Is this like a zombie song deck? Are we singing zombie songs?
Version in the game, Hunter will want to be it.
Yes, it's me. All right, sign me up. We're recurring things. I'm back. We're back. Sign me up with this list. I'll figure it out. I promise. But yes, this board is wide. Daryl's board is empty, and that is such a terrible place for Blurple to be in at this point of the game.
Yeah, the Under the Sea coming down, clearing out the board, and playing that and stop chaos in its tracks helps you take care of the wide boards, which are difficult for this deck to deal with. But if boards are not very wide, if there's only 1 or 2 characters out, Ruby Emerald can take care of them so easily. They have Mother Knows Best, You're Welcome, Beast King Undisputed. That's their bread and butter. So right now, Daryl only being able to play 1 card a turn, it's just not going to be enough for him to close the gap that Ray has created, because he just will have the answer every single time.
Yeah, we're definitely going into this long situation of game 3. But again, I know it's sneaky, but Donald has 2 lore. There's 2 of them on the board. Again, we still have that Clarabelle. We did opt to play the Hades onto the shark, recognizing that being able to zombie sing your songs is probably not great. Let's leave those in the discard. No more value there. However, we do have our little clumsy guest Clarabelle sitting over there. Potentially another shift, so we could go just another shark. That makes sense.
As if we needed more ink, Ray decides he needs the ink for the turn.
That means, like, what are you going to do with the rest of the ink? Because look at him. Look, he's counting it. What are we doing?
If he plays nothing else and passes.
Yeah, just be like, what's the point? Why are you? Why?
There's
and we're welcome. You're welcome again.
Yep.
You're the most welcome because you've got to shuffle your deck more than any Disney Lorcana player usually gets to shuffle, Daryl. I hope this has been...
Again, Daryl just stuck in that infinite loop. You cannot get out of it when the Ruby Emerald deck gets like this.
Stop. Yep, he needed more ink. Garrick, there he is, right there, playing out his entire hand because he's going to get that Clarabelle value, and we did the math perfectly. He probably has like
Does
two
he want
cards
to
in
draw
hand.
a card off of the Contented Wallflower is the question.
I know he can because he's. Oh, we see there's a max scoop in hand. Hey-o.
He said, "Hey, Daryl, here's how I'm
Hey.
going to destroy you next turn." We did not draw off the Wallflower. We're just going to draw off of
The Clarabelle.
the light on her hooves. It doesn't matter. It's the same amount of cards.
I'm going to draw off of this Clarabelle, not this Clarabelle. I have so many options that I'm just
Daryl,
going to decide.
it might be time to go to Scoop City, but he says, no, I'm going to develop my brain. There's
like,
a Be Prepared in here
Yeah,
that I colored with a purple marker.
Absolutely. I got my Be Prepared in this deck. I will go out on my own terms by playing an illegal card in this format. No, I'm just kidding, you guys. This is rude. Yeah,
quite rude.
We were wondering why Ray wanted to ink.
That's
because yeah, that's it. We gave up because please. It's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to have in my deck to make this less painful.
That is the classic,
Oh my gosh.
Classic maneuver. Like, let me just look at the top of my deck to see where the card that
how
I wanted
was.
I
was.
Yeah.
And it was Tipo. Do you see the first one? It's always Tipo. It's always Tipo.
He's probably looking for Monstros. Needed that Monstro in game 1 and in game number 3 to have any chance to come back, but wasn't able to find them. And it looks like we have an interview here. Yeah. Always ready. We need to switch over to Discord. Yes.
Also, to stop me from clawing back. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was just so bad.
Yeah, I didn't see Clarabelle once. I have no turn 2 power line. There
right.
was like turn 3 play. I was like, oh my god, this is bad.
And like,
luckily,
first...
yeah.
Hi.
Hello,
Hi.
Ray
Hello.
and Daryl.
How are you guys feeling? Yes.
That was a hell of a game. Like, crazy momentum swing.
Yeah, I don't feel great about it, but you know.
I was going to say, Ray, are you proud of what you've done with the place?
Well, I guess that's what the deck's supposed to do, right? It doesn't let the opponent play the game once it gets going, the engine. So
yeah,
I guess I pushed the goal.
That's what we were talking about in the booth. Like, you got the infinite loop, right? Like, Daryl plays 1 card a turn because that's all he can really do. You play your Welcome, Mother Knows Best, or Be King, rinse, repeat, draw 1,000 cards, and play 1,000 cards. So Blurple seemed like a favorable deck to play against. It's harder for this deck to get rid of those shift lines. Game number 1, Daryl missed the ramp. Game number 3, though, did have the Elsa, but you were able to set your board up in a way to guarantee yourself the Clarabelle shift, and that's where things really just set off for you. Is that what you're just trying to do basically every single game if you can't just do that?
I think for this particular matchup, like, you just want to get Clarabelle all the time because it's just what's strongest into Blurple, right? Where if it was like other decks and my lines would have been different, I'll be probably playing more like singers with songs. But knowing that I'm up against Blurple after game 1, like, I definitely just hard mode for the Clarabelle. But unfortunately, I didn't draw any songs, and I had to ink one of my Clarabelles. And once that Clarabelle got out, I kind of gassed out. So that's where it was very unfortunate.
Yeah, we did see game 1. Unfortunately, Daryl, you no ramp on turn 2.
Yeah, so like that game was just not a game. Like, I, played a 1-drop and then did nothing for 2 turns. Played Iago. It's stayed around for maybe a turn or 2, and like I just kept drawing all the wrong cards, and like I kept drawing bells. I had to ink them, and it was just, it just wasn't good. And he was able to establish like his game plan. Game 2 was, it was better. I had the turn 2 ramp. I think he stumbled. Like, he didn't play a 1-drop. I think he played a 2-drop, but by that time I was able to like set up a Dumbo or Genie, and then got the Elsa, and then just started to chain. But in game 3, like, I was like feeling good at first because I had had a turn 1 play, turn 2 ramp into Genie, and then I think I had Elsa,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
I drew 3 into the unknowns. And yeah, and like didn't have really anything else to play, so it was just like, all right, cool. Like I'm giving him time now, and then he played the Ursula, took the next. I had to ink one of the NT unknowns, but yeah, and it just fell downhill from there.
Yeah. Ray, is this one of the better matchups for the deck? Or are you just trying to dodge steal? I also would like to say there was no Emerald Ruby at the DLC over the weekend. I think after your performance tonight, there might be at least one.
Just at least one. One person.
Inspired by Ray here. But yeah, what do you think of your matchup spread?
So the thing about this deck is it's very strong, but just slightly lack of card draw. You being reliable in Clarabelle does make you a little bit weaker into steel decks. So that's where the mulligans can be very complicated. So generally, like decks want to go under you. So we are playing like Max Goof and Power Lines. Those are probably your comeback factor of singing Under the Sea, chaining, Stop Chaos on his track to bring back the momentum to your side. But generally, like this kind of build, if you're expecting a lot of blue decks that just play one character a turn, then this is very powerful into decks that just want to do that. Rant, play a character a turn, and then you keep them off completely.
Definitely the most amount of spice. I knew earlier you were saying, you're like, I don't want to play meta deck. And I was like, oh, well, that was really definitive. And then you brought this deck. So you definitely went as far away from meta as possible. Yeah, as possible.
I guess it kind of worked out because like I don't know what I'm up against. And the moment I saw Blurple, like, okay, I know what to do.
Yeah. We've all tested against Blurple a little bit this set, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a little bit of Blurple testing experience. Well, I did get to look through Daryl's deck, which is probably my favorite part of the match, being able to see all of those cards. And I think he played the same Hades 4 times in one game. I don't know, but definitely getting the screen time on those enchanteds is amazing.
They're there.
They are indeed there. Daryl, I know you spent a lot of time playing Powerline decks, playing Ruby Emerald, working with our teammate Bob to try and make it work. So I'm sure you knew the lines coming in. Once you saw the 2 colors you were playing against, were you a little bit worried because you didn't think Blurple would be that great into it, or what were you expecting?
No, I was like, once I saw the colors, I was actually happy, except for game 1, obviously, because I just
yeah, you're like, wait, no, my ramp.
Yeah, I didn't get to play that game. Like I think it's still favored towards Blurple. Like obviously, like they can get the Clarabelle out and start doing crazy stuff, and along with the power line. So like it puts it on like 2 different axes because now you have to deal. You pick if you're dealing, and it has the max goof. So like you have to pick. Oh, do I get rid of max goof, Clarabelle, or power line? And I think it was like game 1 or 2. He had Clarabelle and Max, and I was like, all right, well, I have to get rid of Max because he has the tools in his graveyard drop to deal with anything I play. So I'll be super off tempo if I don't deal with the Max. Like, yes, I'll give him more cards, but overall, like the matchup's still really good for Blurple. It's just you can't fumble, and I fumbled a lot in those games based on the cards that my deck gave me at the time. But he played it very well, so I can't take nothing away from him, and I do really like his build. But maybe I'll get some revenge later.
Absolutely. And again, I loved seeing any Powerline card actually work. The fact that Ruby even worked in set 9 is beautiful. So I'm sorry that Daryl, you had to be the recipient of that, because that first game, I think you're owed some kind of emotional support from it. So we'll talk after this, because that was awful. But the second game definitely kind of went in there, did your thing, showed us the strength of Blurple, even though, again, and I think that was like to your point, that was something that you typically recognize really, really early. Is you could tell some players going into this might not know how to evaluate the different targets, and because you've played this deck before, you were accurately able to evaluate those targets. And again, I was even saying this is very reminiscent of how Ray likes to build decks because of Emerald Steel in the past. You had that like, do I hit Diablo? Do I get Ursula 3? Do I try to take care of this Prince John? If you just fill the deck full of a critical mass of threats, it makes your, like, you only have so much removal. So now correctly identifying which one is the actual problem is what will win you the game. And so it just kind of makes, it's a perfect Ray deck. It just gets in your head just a little too much.
Yeah. And like it was very well constructed and he played very well. I didn't see any mistakes that he made. I know I made a mistake in one of the games where I challenged with my Iago instead of the Elsa that I just played, but those are small things that you pick up on and learn from, because I definitely, like, as soon as I did it, I was like, yeah, I missed the lore, and if I lose this game, it was game 2. It's like, if I lose this game by 1 lore, then I know where I messed up.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about that a little bit. I didn't think it was the worst thing in the world putting it on the Iago specifically, but we were discussing the potential missed lore there. But you were able to bring it through. I would like to give you two the opportunity for any shout outs. Congratulations, Ray, on your first round of victory. Any shout outs for you?
Yeah, so, same as usual. Shout out to my homies, SLTC. Love you guys. Thank you for putting up with me playing non-meta decks all the time, even though it's not the best practice for you guys. But yeah, good luck to the rest of my teammates, and good luck to my opponent as well.
Daryl?
Yeah, first, I want to thank my wife and my daughter that are upstairs, let me come down here and play and take out the time to do this. Obviously, thanks to my team, Inc. Sorry I let y'all down this round, but things happen. And thank you for the crew that put this on for everybody to watch. I've always watched from the outside, so it's cool being on the inside and playing. And shout out to my opponent. I am also a player that typically doesn't play what everybody else is playing. So that's always fun. But
yeah, for me, I always want to be the counter meta, not play the meta.
Yeah, I've been on Blurple since set 1, so like
you can't get off it now just because it's meta.
Right. So like now I'm like it's really good.
I was here first.
But no, I appreciate everybody. Appreciate your time. Yeah, that's all for me.
Appreciate the cast, the judge, and sorry for the interruption of my internet cutting out with the storm and everything.
All good, all good. Well, that was an amazing first match. We're gonna get back into the booth.
All right, peace out, y'all.
Alrighty, thanks, guys.
GG.
Seeing you here very, very shortly, as you will be doing game number 3 with a caster that everybody does know, and it will be really exciting to see them in the booth here in the ICL.
Yeah, I'm excited, and you guys are going to be left in the capable hands of Garrick here, which you already know, and then another of one of my favorites. I keep saying that about everybody, like, oh my god, you're my favorite. So unfortunately, I know, yeah, I've got so many favorites. This is another really top favorite, is JDZ and Garrick on round 2 of the ICL on a Tuesday. But I'll be back.
Look who's back in the building. I can't hear him. He's muted in video, I believe. Well, everyone, JDZ is figuring out how technology works. I will set the stage here for match number 2. SLTC was able to take the first match. Shout out to Ray. Really, really interesting build and really well played by him. Able to take down Daryl on the max rarity Blurple deck, which is really cool to see. But like I said, I think a lot of people are going to be interested in playing that Ruby Emerald strategy now that Ray has displayed it here on the ICL. This is where a lot of interesting decks do come into the meta. It happened last season. I'm sure it will happen this season. And if there's not an Emerald Ruby player at Milwaukee, I'll be very disappointed. You know, maybe it'll be Ray. It's not going to be me. You know, I'm not made of that kind of stuff. I cannot pilot that kind of deck, especially if I play into one steel deck playing Fire the Cannons, I will crash out. So that is for people made of sterner stuff. But that was a really, really interesting match. It was awesome to see the power line cards, and we do have JDG who finally figured out where the mute button was. We're back.
Listen, I was so locked in on that match. The screen was large. I couldn't get out of mega screen. I was in mega screen. It was taking up my entire screen, and I was trapped. I was in the genjutsu you were talking about. I felt like Daryl, and my screen was mother nose besting me back repeatedly over and over again. I couldn't get out of it. I finally had to just restart my whole Opera browser, and there it is. It dropped me down. I was able to hit the unmute button. But we are back, and we are better than ever. That was a phenomenal matchup. Yeah. Sorry, Daryl had to go down and be on the other end of that, but that was incredible to see. I enjoyed it a lot, seeing a little bit of spice coming in.
Yeah, very, very well played by both players, and really cool to see, like I said, the Emerald Ruby deck coming out. My prediction's already wrong because I picked a 3-0 for the team, but that's okay. We can bring it back. We got 2 more matches. It's best 2 out of 3, and we are on the play again. But
absolutely, being on the play is very important as well. Yeah. I mean, that's a huge benefit of the ICL. If you do lose round number 1, you will be able to choose if you want to be on the play or the draw. Most times, 9 times, I've never seen anyone elect to go back on the on the draw after losing a round. That would be a super flex. I don't think that's going to be something that we will see here. But being on the draw or being on the play is incredibly important. But you got another uphill battle coming your way as Justin Crum. Let's see if Regis can get it done and maybe turn the tides. I don't know. Just a super strong player. Tell me a little bit more about Regis. What's his? What are some of their tendencies here in Disney Lorcana right now for this set number 8, 9?
What are their tendencies? Just give out all the secrets to the SLTC players in the chat right now.
It's open.
I'm kidding. No, Regis is a really strong player. I've played him a bunch in different set championships throughout the seasons. He's also a good friend of Daryl. Has known him for a long time. And shout out to both players playing and repping their team's decks.
Absolutely, I think.
Their team on their playmat.
Their team is playmat. I'm hearing some noise in the inner ear there. I don't know if you're hearing that as well. So good. Shout out to production, and huge shout out to Luke as well for putting this thing on together, getting it going as we get a Pluto down into the Inkwell early. So maybe a little bit of steel, maybe a little bit of amber steel. This might be a quick matchup, Garrett.
Yeah, Pluto going to the Inkwell. That probably signals that we will. What is happening? Okay, Justin is putting his ink. I was like so confused for a second. I saw that happen over the weekend as well, where players were putting the cards above.
Wait, what? I thought that was illegal. Is that still legal to do?
I thought they outlawed it.
I thought it was banned.
I thought they outlawed it, but we are getting another Emerald deck with the Max Goose with the Goofy movie cards as the Troubadour comes down for Regis. So we are playing Amber Steel, and it looks like he has a terrible hand. No one dropped the Troubadour on 2. That's not exactly what you want to see if you're playing Amber Steel. You want to get down and you want to get busy if you are on the play, especially.
For sure. If I'm Justin, I'm absolutely salivating seeing this opening, seeing that Amber Steel Troubadour coming out.
You're what?
I'm salivating.
Okay. You sound like Don Cheadle in Ocean's 11.
I am absolutely loving this Troubadour, as it looks like Ink is on the play, but coming out with a very slow start as the Heffalumps and Woozles is going to be sent on to the discard pile. So we will get a draw card. Ink a card, and now the Troubadour will not be able to quest. He still will be able to sing, but unfortunately don't have any backup components there to be able to sing unless you go 2 characters into a Strength of Rage and Fire. But on the Bobby Zimmerowski, would it be worth it?
We're playing mono emerald here because we have not seen the second color. Right now, Regis has to be scratching his head. What in the world am I playing against? Is this emerald sapphire on the other side? It really does matter. Is it emerald steel? We saw the max goof go into the inkwell. That would make you think emerald steel. It's probably not ruby emerald.
It cannot be ruby. If there were back-to-back ruby emeralds, I think we'd have to cut the whole stream off. But I think by ICL rules, it can't be a back-to-back of the same color combination. So
I heard Luke made an exception for decks that are represented at 0% at DLCs.
Okay.
So.
I'd support that. I'd support that. As we got another Troubadour down. What do you think about this opening? Amber still going Troubadour. Thoughts on that line of play?
Not good. I think it's not the way you want to start, and inking the lady on turn number 2 when that could be a card you could deploy on turn number 3 is not the greatest. Maybe he did find the 1-drop though. It's a fire the cannons. We are going to target that Clarabelle. That is, I believe, the correct option here. And why not get a quest in with the Troubadour? There's nothing Bobby's going to do against that resist 1.
Absolutely. And if Justin is in fact playing a Sapphire strategy, he did not execute a ramp on that second turn. So it leads me to believe that this might be a Emerald Steel situation. Emerald Steel is a strategy that performed incredibly well in DLC. And
it is.
Heck, all that. Never mind. Forget. I'll just shut up right now. It's the Pleek Dog Nasty Supreme coming out with a little bit of turn 3 ramp. Will send one of those spray cheese, or excuse me, that was the Clarabelle, I believe, goes down into the inkwell, which Bobby Zimmerowski stays up and active. So it is Sapphire and Emerald. This deck also, I think, in my personal opinion, I think it kind of underperformed there at the DLC in Bologna this weekend.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's a really, really tough matchup for Amber Steel, but it's not so bad. If you're able to get those fire the cannons off and remove those shift lines, we do have the strength of Raging Fire, getting rid of that Pleek lead. This is what you need to do if you're the Amber Steel player. Get them off the board as quickly as possible. Sometimes Amber Steel can take that control route when they're playing those fire the cannons, and the strength of Raging Fire is one of the best cards in the game right now. So just keep that board clear, keep the runway clear as the Donald comes down, and Amber Steel doesn't hate to see that. They like drawing cards.
Absolutely. And like you said, just being able to disrupt those shift lines, the Sapphire Emerald deck, when it was a lesser known commodity, it was you can't see some of these plays coming, but now it's very telegraphable. You can see those things. That's another strength of Raging Fire. So those were all the cards that were in the hand, a ton of strength. And just like that, Regis has completely turned the tides of this game, and it's a complete absolute command and control right now, looking very formidable in this spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, just considering what we're questing with, you can always keep that Baymax in mind because it can be shifted onto this Bobby and challenge into that Nala before the Tiana gets exerted. That's a great way to get your Nala banished. But right now, Regis not really concerned with that. The Lion does not concern themselves with the Baymax shift. You see what I did there? Nala's the Lion. Anyway, we're passing it back on to Justin.
I did enjoy that a lot. If we're going to pay the full retail value, bringing out the John Silver, probably going to give Reckless. I would say Nala's going to have to eat that, not being able to quest, saving yourself 3 pieces of lore. But now, if you do have that Baymax shift in your hand and an Under the Sea, you could potentially shift that on top of that Spray Cheese Kid Sing, and then you're immediately right back in command and control. So right now, this thing is getting out of hand as Nala's not able to quest, not able to challenge, but we got a lot of lore being stacked up as Regis is going to be on his way.
Yeah, Regis going up to 12 here. Only 1 card in the hand for Justin right now. And Under the Sea is not available to be sung unless we found Baymax off the top. And the second card is Under the Sea. So that's not going to be an option. John Silver is going to have to quest here, you would think, to turn off the Nala. But we are looking at a significant amount of lore on the other side of the board.
Yeah, or
enough
even
to get to 19, but not win the game.
Or you'd have to even the Hades, the Infernal Schemer coming there as that last card. That last card is probably going to be that Under the Sea as you're going into your 7 ink turn. So that was a quite slow maneuver. Pete here would be absolutely devastating coming in. Sorry. I'm working on my English accent because I heard some of the broadcasts this weekend, and all those English accents just made it sound so much better. So I think if we all adopted English accents, I think it would increase viewership for us. Thoughts?
Agree. You know
Okay.
what? I'll agree. I think I did see what Regis drew there. I think it was a Rhino shift.
Ooh.
Decides to keep it in the hand. So that's one of the worst cards that you could find.
And
You
it was
needed
the Under the Sea.
Yep.
So, yeah, that
And
Pete would have just imagine a Pete there. That would have been an absolute slam the door GG.
game, yeah.
But just like that, Justin has a new life with a very proactive space pirate up, which can engage with any character you place down. So you're gonna have to get to the point where you're putting down 2 characters at once and see if you can do it to kind of slam the door. As the power hamster is going to be played to the field right now, it cannot engage with this John Silver by itself. So this will be another 2 lore that you're going to go up here. Brutal. Another.
Oh.
That's the last thing you need to see. A second John Silver is going to come on down, giving that power hamster reckless. We're probably going to leave that Bobby up and active just to protect him. Oof.
And this is where the door is going to be shut. The John Silver can be removed here because we did just draw a fire the cannons off the top for Regis, but it might not be enough. You need Doc. That's what you absolutely need off the top of the deck. You need Doc and 2 other characters that you could play. Doc and 2 1-drops, and Regis could win this game. Anything but, and it's probably over as Basil comes down. That's going to be a real pain to deal with, as that's just going to exert even more pressure onto the board. We're going to 12, and we will go to 17 on the side. And it's Pete. He's just a little too late.
Better late than better. Yeah, just so late. I was gonna say better late than never, but still, I forgot about that very active John Silver who can quest, giving that Pete reckless. So you're gonna lose the Pete again, and John Silver will be able to maintain his status as captain of the Enterprise. There, we are gonna get the Spray Cheese kit going as well, putting Story on board. Which, okay, I'll save my thoughts on that, but. It is imminent on board right there. Just the game is over if we can't do anything. It looks like Regis agrees. I just want to go ahead and pack it up. Garrett, what went wrong there?
No 1-drop. Troubadour on 2. Probably pretty bad. Needed to play a 1-drop there. If you do, you win because you need 1 more lore. It didn't matter if it was an Aurora, whatever, right? That's what you needed to close the door there. But Justin able to get to that Under the Sea, remove the entire board on the side of Regis. Also finding that Rhino on that turn, being unable to play it with the John Silver already out, just put you in a really, really, really bad position. Also, no Doc. I think if we find a Doc there, we're probably also able to get over the finish line. So just really unfortunate draws for Regis there. No 1-drop, no Doc, but did have the strength of Raging Fires, which were really, really good. So it didn't all go bad, but just wasn't enough to get over the finish line.
Absolutely. I think the reason why a lot of people believe that this matchup is actually quite decent for the Sapphire Emerald players, because they do have that Under the Sea and they're able to sing it relatively early. They do have the John Silvers, which we saw had great effects in that match, being able to just quest and slow them down so tremendously. So seeing if Justin can prioritize getting that Under the Sea again, and let's see if Regis can maybe have a stronger start, because I do feel that Amber Steel on the draw is the best possible thing you can be doing in Disney Lorcana. Just going first, getting loose, getting super duper active with your characters, being able to chain those stocks, get the bodyguards down. We saw that there was some Plutos there. Maybe there's some other bodyguards that you have available in your deck. I haven't seen the deck list yet, but this is a very powerful strategy, and it just stinks that you came out with a super slow start. I'm sure Justin is loving it, being able to steal one on the draw, knowing that you have an on the play opportunity in your back pocket. So no matter what happens in this game, you'll be able to go first. Has to be such a warm and comforting feeling as Regis getting that altar in right now.
Yeah, especially winning on the draw when you missed ramp on 2. Like, we saw nothing but emerald cards coming out. Like, the first 6 cards we saw were all emerald, so we didn't even know what Justin was on. Maybe that ended up, in his favor, threw Regis off a little bit. He saw the max, so maybe he thought it was steel, maybe played it a little bit differently. So in the end, getting the win on the draw with no ramp on 2, that you couldn't ask for anything better. but it's not impossible for the Amber Steel deck to win on the draw against the Emerald Sapphire list because of 5 magical words. They need to have it. If they don't have it, they cannot win the game. They need the John Silver. They need the Under the Sea to have a prayer in this matchup. Things need to line up really, really well for the Emerald Sapphire. And a lot of times they do because you have hand fixing, you have draw, you have the tools in your deck to do that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to, do you have the answer or do you not have the answer?
I like it. Show your moves. That's what Captain Falcon would say. Remember that guy? Show
I remember
your
that
moves.
guy.
Yeah,
Legend.
he would come out there and do that. And I hit the show your moves on there as we are going to slam this Daisy Duck almost immediately, putting the small 1/16 wolf down to the Inkwell. Much better start coming in from Regis this time. And let's see if Justin's got the answers to it, as you got no one cost your own. Passing that on over to a very active Daisy.
Yeah, I do like playing the little Rhino though in this matchup. Threatening that shift, I think, is always good against Under the Sea decks, especially if you can do it on the turn where an Under the Sea is about to happen. And there it comes with a Daisy in tow. We're going to do a little quest here, go up to 2. Let's see if we hit a Heffalumps and Woozles. Is going to the bottom.
This is a much, much, much better start for Regis, as the Daisy Duck will not give you a plus value. Questing for 2 as a 1/4 broken card. Actually insane, especially when it doesn't give you the value that you usually want, as we will hit a ramp on 2. You need to get a 1-cost character to come in here. You need to put some pressure of a Baymax threat in play immediately, or this thing is going to get long in the tooth super quick for Justin as we do that, as the spray cheat shits come down.
Yep, Bobby comes down. Again, like you said, that does threaten the Baymax shift, which can be absolutely brutal. If Regis were to have established that Troubadour on the last turn, you could envision a play where you go super wide and just blast the Baymax before it's able to do anything. I've done that plenty of times playing Amber Steel with like a Tiana on 2 or a Troubadour on 2. Not opting to do that. Here's the Tiana on 3 though. Will we choose to quest or waited out a turn? Regis says you don't have it. I'm going to force you to have it. Heads held high to the bottom.
Double hit.
Do we get a triple hit?
Triple hit. Holy smokes, these days are going crazy. Triple piece chicken McNugget to the bottom of the deck. Can you get a character one time, as we're going to keep drawing? I would like to see a nasty Baymax come off the top there for old Justin, but apparently luck would not be a lady tonight. The spray cheese kid staring down 8 willpower over there. The Rhino holding on to 2, can't do anything, but we're going to quest for 1. No, we challenge him.
Challenge does not have the Baymax. Here comes the Pleat.
Oh, this is brutality incarnate. Don't like to see it, as we are going to pleak the spray cheese kid, getting ourselves up to 5 ink in the Inkwell, as this is just problematic central.
Yep, This is what you want to see if you're Amber Steel. This is not what you want to see if you're Emerald Sapphire. So things shifting. Speaking of shift, there's the Rhino coming down, and interestingly enough, we did see that damage get put onto the Rhino, which does remain after shifting, so it does lose that resist. And another hit for Daisy.
Wow.
Can we make it 5 in a row?
Oh my goodness. What are the maybe there are an abundance of songs and actions in this deck, but man, I have not seen Daisy go for a 5-piece in a really long time, and that's just free lore at this point. You don't really have it to get, and Justin's going to see that the writing is on the wall, and we'll just
let's keep it moving.
Just move these things.
Pushing. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to have that, amount of songs in this version, because what was the first card that Justin inked? Max
Goof. Yeah,
he needs songs in the discard pile to bring back. So if you're not playing songs, then the character's not getting the most value. So those daisies are going to hit quite frequently. 2 quick games. We'll see what happens here. We have Regis on the draw into a tough matchup. What do you expect to see here?
I want to see Justin. I want to see more of what this deck is trying to do. Granted, we have seen some aspects of it. We've seen Pleakley, we've seen the Max Goofs. I want to see what the vision is. Maybe it's more designed for the Sapphire Amethyst or some of the more mid-range type strategies to kind of get deeper, and you can have more controlling elements to aid to your consistency. And maybe the aggro stuff, you're just trying to you're in survival mode at this point. So I would like to see if you're on the play now. If you can establish some of your singing characters early before they can get engaged with Strength of Raging Fire, potentially you can get it early under the sea and maybe just draw this thing out and let's get a longer game in, because I got one. This is the ICL is back, man. The ICL is a huge part of my life, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm in here. We got one rep, you know what I'm saying? I got to get that H out of here in another short round. What is this, 10 minutes? I feel there's 47 minutes left in the round. I feel cheated, okay? I feel robbed. All right. No, I'm kidding. But I would love to see a nice combative match as we go into the game 3. And I just want to see more of what this deck that Justin has is trying to do, because we know where Regis is taking us right now.
Yeah. And we know where Regis's bread is buttered. Those characters that can get down onto the board and get to questing quickly. And if your daisies are hitting that hot, then you gotta keep slamming them. Regis putting one back.
Oh, that's a scary
Really
sign.
happy with his hand.
Oof.
Probably has 1, maybe 2 fire the cannons in the deck.
Yeah. Whenever I'm seeing a Sapphire or an Amber Steel player send 1 or none, I know I'm about to get cooked. I know it's going to be very, very bad for me. And they're going to go Aurora, Tiana, Fire the Cannons, Strength, Doc. They got the whole thing, because or maybe they just didn't want to mess up their hand. If they have a very modest playable hand, they didn't want to get it worse. But I feel bad whenever that happens.
Regis just did a half cut. We're going to set them all 3 out here and give the option.
And shout out to everyone watching at home. I see Liam in the chat. Shout out to Liam from the Illumineers. This is my D23 shirt. I am a D23 member, and I'm rocking the D23 shirt out here for the first day back of the ICL. And it's been a long time, man. I didn't realize how much the ICL meant to me, how much a part of my battle rhythm and daily motion that this thing is, as we get the Spray Cheese Kid down on 1 early.
Spray Cheese Kid does hit the board. Let's see what we go for a discard. And it is an Under the Sea. Wonder if there's uninkability issues in the hand, or do we have multiple of that card? Might be worth keeping 2, but if you got a bunch of uninks, you got to get rid of the highest cost one in the hand as a penny hits the inkwell. And we have a daisy on 1. Let's see how these daisies are going to hit. Yeah.
Holy moly. Seeing that Daisy Duck getting the gifts. Oh, my goodness. I don't want to see it, as we are going to go for the Cell of the Azurite Sea again here. Maybe you can put down another 1-cost character. I don't know if you're playing Baymax.
The inkwell. That's good to note.
Mm-hmm. Double of them, double dipped ahead of Sealed High, as we get another 1-cost character in the form of Clarabelle. Light on her hooves, you're still a couple cards away from a potential shift, hanging on to 2 cards in hand. Granted, the Clarabelle will not be able to the Light on her hooves, or excuse me, the Light on her hooves will not be able to give you much value in this Amber Steel, because they're probably going to neutralize their entire hand. But still, that 5-6 stat line ain't no joke.
Probably going to see a Fire the Cannons here. Have to imagine Regis wants to play Tiana. Double Fire the Cannons. Get him up out of here. He doesn't. I knew he was holding on to him when he only sent 1 back. He said, I want Fire the Cannons. And there's John Silver into the hand. One of the toughest cards to deal with for this deck. We saw that in game number 1. And John Silver is going to be coming down quickly. So we're going to need to establish a singer, have a strength, and more characters on the board, as we're going to pause the Daisy Duck from questing for a turn.
That double Fire the Cannons might be a game-breaking maneuver right there. A tempo blaster, a momentum shifter early, as now you've taken a lot of the initiative back in the field of play, because that broke up the Pleakley lines, that broke up 2 shift lines, that broke up everything that you were trying to do, any potential lore gain, the Baymax is not a problem anymore, and now you have 2 more turns before that John Silver can come down, and now you're establishing this big board. We're always talking about turning corners. That was a complete Tokyo drift around a corner right there, as Regis now is in a very, very good position with this board state they've set up for themselves.
I'm pretty scared for Regis, to be honest with you. I think that I don't know if I would have double cannons there. I think I maybe would have played a 1-drop and only cannons the Clarabelle. I don't think you need to hit. You haven't seen. You have not seen Baymax. I think maybe just hitting the Clarabelle there and establishing a character might have been better. Then you can get a Singer on 3 with the Pete, but we ink the Pete. We see the Max Goof come down. I don't know. I'm nervous. You know.
You gotta ride it. This is riding the lightning, man. You run fast, you run hot, you hope for the best. If you can get into a bodyguard here in this turn, I'm not sure if you're playing some of the Gem Deers. We saw Sleepy being added to these builds. We saw some of the other 3-cost bodyguards. Slam a bodyguard here could be something that can help you, as you know your opponent is going into their 6 ink turn, and they're gonna start dealing with the pesky space captain. John Silver is going to come on through, and he's going to make some noise. And you need to get a Singer established, I would think, for your potential Strength of Raging Fire. And there he is. Oh, no, he's not a Singer. That's Doc.
Okay, we have the second Doc, but that's all right. We're going to draw 2 here. Do we have another 1-drop? That's important.
That was
awesome.
Final
turn. Card is Strength of a Raging Fire. You're cooking.
I think you need to clear some bodies off of this board with this Max Goof.
You might be in trouble. Here comes the big John Silver.
And it's the game right here. If this is Strength of Raging Fire, it's over. If you don't got it, you might have a game. You still need to clear somebody. Can this Max Goof swing on someone? I don't know exactly who has the resist 1 on them right now, as the Heffalumps and Woozles.
Heffalumps onto Nala. So Nala not going to be going on a quest this turn. So
who has the reckless though? I can't quite hear who got targeted with the reckless.
That's a good point.
Somebody has it. Nala can't quest for sure. Just imagine can't quest and reckless, dude. You just double dip, huh? You just can't do it. You just got to sit there and take it. As we gonna go, Doc and Daisy are challenging the Max Goof.
Got to get rid of that so your Nala survives. I'm assuming Nala was hit by the John Silver.
Okay.
And a Daisy was potentially hit by the Heffalumps.
And it was the shift Max Goof as well that was added from the Daisy trigger. Tiana comes down.
Huge into Doc is huge.
What a turn. What a turn.
Big turn.
Is looking really good. You're still super far away from a potential under the sea. You're not going to be able to get it done. You're going to need another character that can come to the field of play. Hades, the Infernal Schemer, could slow this thing down a little bit as 2 ink for the sale. Ugh.
Inking Max. We're going maybe another big John Silver.
Okay. Talk to him, John Silver, as you're probably going to hit up that Tiana. John Silver is going to challenge or quest, probably giving one of those 2-cost characters a little bit more reckless, as we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 still on the board.
But looks like the Nala and the Tiana were chosen.
Okay, how much is that left? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's 8 Exacxies, and Regis gets it done.
Wow.
Incredible match, man. Very good stuff. Very good stuff.
Came in at the right time, and we are going to head on over to the interview booth to talk to these 2 amazing players.
Hopefully I can find it this time. I gotta stop embarrassing myself, dude.
So many.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Yo, incredible matchup. Congratulations to you, Regis, for getting it done, coming out here, playing that Amber Steel aggro, getting loose, going all the way to a game number 3 versus Emerald and Sapphire. Can you really quickly just talk about Amber Steel? What does it mean to you? Why are you playing Amber Steel this set? Why are you part of the problem?
Well, the problem lies in Strength of the Raging Fire is such a great card.
I'm kidding. It is indeed.
And just got to play the best deck, and this is what I feel like is the best deck right now. And,
yeah, I'm totally joking around with you, man. I do agree with you. The deck is very powerful, especially when going first. But talk to us about game number one. What went wrong there? What were some of the cards in your hand as that slow start assisted you into a quick loss there in game number one? And then what went right in the following games?
Game one, I mulliganed 5 cards and just didn't see a 1-drop besides 2 Fire the Cannons in my hand. And on the play, that really doesn't do a whole lot.
For sure.
And then just not finding a dock to get 2 creatures out when you had the 1 John Silver. If I had just gotten that 1 dock, find another creature to play, I could have gotten that last lore.
Yeah. That's all it takes, man. That's all it takes. As Garrick here, he's watching it with us as well. I know it's your teammate and good friend. Also, he's an Amber Steel enthusiast. I'm sure, Garrick, did you see anything that you picked up from your position from your colleague Regis's gameplay?
Well, I knew when you only altered 1 card in the last game that you probably had 2 Fire the Cannons in hand, and I was sweating bullets a little bit when you double Fire the Cannons. I was like, I don't know, man, like maybe you want to just hit 1 Fire the Cannons and then play a 1-drop, but it worked out in the end. I was stressing out for you, but very well played. I was also super concerned on the side of Justin. I mean, he did miss the ramp in game number 1. We thought you were playing mono Emerald, Justin. We had no clue what was going on in that first game. We didn't know if it could have been Emerald Steel. We saw the Max Goof. That's a key card in that deck. Talk to us about your Emerald Sapphire list, playing the Max Goof with the shift line. You got a lot of songs in there. I'm assuming no Baymax, or do you have that?
No Baymax, which is obviously a detriment for this matchup in particular, but
yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the card. In this one, like, I think as the meta has developed, I think it's become more important to play Baymax, but I haven't touched this deck in like 2 weeks, so
yeah,
that's what happened there.
Absolutely. And it was a little hard to watch, especially in that second game. Talk to us about Daisy Duck and talk to us about Daisy Duck triggers, and how many have you seen? How many have you seen there go to the bottom of the deck on the Daisy Duck trigger in a row? I think you set the record with 5.
Yeah, I think that was the best Daisy Duck I've ever seen in my life.
That's the sort of thing I don't track, because I know people that track that sort of stuff and then they just tilt really hard from doing it. And so, like, nothing good comes from tracking whether Daisy Duck is hitting or not.
Yeah, I think I was tracking for you, okay, and it was a lot, okay, and there were a lot of Daisy Ducks. But again, I know Garrick was asking about your build. We saw the Max Goose, we saw the Shift Max Goose. You said you haven't been playing this deck that much this set, but can you talk about those cards in particular, because we don't see those cards that often in this color combination? Typically, that's more reserved to a Emerald Steel kind of thing. Can you talk about that in Emerald Sapphire? What are some of the lines you're looking for? How does that usually work out when you do it? What are some of the power things that you can pull off with those 2 cards in particular?
Yeah, so they're mostly later game cards. So like the Max Goof, with the 3-cost Max Goof, you can either bring back Mother Knows Best or Heffalumps and Woozles. In the case of Mother Knows Best, you're getting yourself a lot of tempo. In the case of Heffalumps and Woozles, you're turning Max Goof into a way of just sort of cycling another card and stopping them from gaining lore, right? So we saw in game 1 where I had the John Silver lock. The John Silver lock there was actually fairly easy to break through if Regis had found a better card. So like me missing or him missing, I think he had a lady and a rhino at one point. Like if he has a lady and a 2-drop sort of thing, then a single John Silver doesn't stop that, right? If he had found Doc at any point in there, then a single John Silver doesn't stop that. And so one of the things that I found was that you could do that was a little bit fun was like, all right, I can play this Max Goof, either 3-cost or 6-cost, and I can really lock people out of the game with that. You get a lot of value from those cards. So they're just other value engines that I think are a little bit underexplored, but I'm not sure that Sapphire Emerald is really the right place to be playing them.
Okay. Okay. Well, I like the little bit of experimentation, and I enjoyed you bringing it. And I also I like seeing a little bit of Amber Steel coming in there. Are you playing a lot of bodyguards coming back to you, Regis? I didn't see too many bodyguards. I saw Pluto, but are you playing any of the other ones?
No, I'm just playing Pluto right now. Haven't really tested out the other any of the other 2-drop bodyguards that I saw some people messing with, but I'll definitely have to give it some practice over the next couple weeks before the DLC.
Okay. Nice, nice. I'll be anxious to see you guys there. But Gary, if you have any more questions for these great players before we start to wrap it up and start preparing for the final round of ICL on a Tuesday?
No, I think they both explained their decks, their decisions, and the matchup really well. Just really excited to see this match number 3. I love it when the ICL goes to number 3. There's not a 2-0. Congratulations to Regis. Very well played by Justin's side as well. Super pumped for this match number 3.
Absolutely. But before we go, gentlemen, I would like to I'll throw it for you, Justin, first. Just take a little bit of time. Any special shout outs you want to give, anything you want to say? The floor is yours, please.
Yeah, shout out to our testing group and my wife who's coming back home soon from Bologna. She had a great time judging out there. Yeah,
Nice.
I think that's everybody.
Absolutely. Okay. Shout out to the wives, all the wives out there. And we'll kick it over to our winner, Regis. You won this thing. You knotted it up for your squad. You guys are trying to go undefeated. This is where it starts. Any shout outs you want to give to inspire your final member in the for the ICL on a Tuesday?
Definitely want to shout out my wife as well, letting me play test a whole bunch. My team, Ink. My other family up in Hagerstown, Inkatink, and all the playtest groups that I've been a part of. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And we'll let you guys go. Thank you so much for your participation, and good luck in the rest to both of you. Hopefully we see you guys back here on the stream again soon.
Oh, of course. Can't wait to be back.
All right. And we are back in the booth. Garrick, I think we're here. Yo.
Holding it down.
Holding it down. We hung out a lot today. Okay. We went straight from This Is Not a Pond right on into the ICL. I love it. ICL on a Tuesday is going to be lit. Because I think we can do this every time. I had a good time doing that.
Yeah, man.
And being here with you, it's always going to be fun.
I'm seeing Fumbles on my screen right now, dressed for the occasion.
Let's get it, Fumbles.
Shout out to the
Let's get
shout out to the absolute legend, and you love to see it.
I love it. But Garrick, I think our time is up. I think we're done.
Yes,
short night for your boy. I mean, that was a 20-minute
in and out, quick
in and out. Super. But we're going to leave you guys in competent and capable hands. Color is Law is coming back, and in the building, we got none other than Liam from the Illumineer. So you guys have a wonderful night. I will see you next time. Until then.
Peace.
Then we're back. And I am assuming I'm not muted, but I am assuming that there he is. Yeah. I was wondering. I was like, I'm not muted, but I know Liam is. Let's get it.
Yep. That's how I do. That's how I do. I saw JD's D23 shirt. He was rocking it, and I was like, oh, I need a little spice of my own. So I went digging around the office.
Yeah.
I almost had the Stitch ears, but I decided against it. Wonder was in the yeah. I found him at Target, and I love him.
Yeah, and I love him. I mean, the Baymax, I like how he looks like he's about to fall off the back.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of times they feel like they're perched. Baymax actually looks like he's about to just like that's it.
Oh yeah, he's barely holding. He's barely keeping it
barely on there, and I love it.
That's how I live my life. Barely keeping it together.
Round 3.
Well,
Round 3.
It's so good to hang out with you. I haven't seen you since Denver. I guess that was a short time ago, but it feels like forever ago, and it's so good to see you tonight.
I know. I think that it's ever since Fable came out, it's like we have been working weekend by weekend, but it's felt like years. I know it's the shortest set so far, but all of us have been so busy. I have no idea how everybody keeps up with everything that they have to keep up with. It has been insane. And now set champs start, and ICL is back, and we're on round 3, and we are 1-1. These teams, this is it. No pressure, Fumbles. What is Richard Fumbles Del Giorno? Oh my God.
Del Giorno. You said there's no pressure. I said a ton of pressure.
I know.
Opening weekend of ICL. This is it's 1-1 and oh my goodness, I'm really excited to watch some awesome Lorcana. Color.
He is suited up. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Is he?
Fumbles is
yeah. Oh, look at
killing
that.
me.
Look at that. And I think that's what color pin is that?
I'm trying to. Yeah, I mean, it has to be. It has to be a sapphire pin because I think that's the only color that he's admitted to me that's the only color that he knows how to play. There was at one point where he was having a really, really hard time. I was watching him test, and I was like, Fumbles, well, have you tried playing this deck? He's like, color, listen, I appreciate what you're trying to do. I can only play sapphire. I was like, all right, man, let's do it.
Let's
shuffle up. Let's try it again.
Do it. Two fantastic players here. What a fun way to spend an evening. I always get really excited on ICL nights because there's so many wonderful people. Not only the ones we see on camera, but ones behind the scene, like working to make this happen. The judges, Wonder's always there doing his magic, and some amazing players. So it really feels like it's right Amber. That it's coming back now. I'm super excited for this, and I'm really excited to be here opening weekend. And you saw Amber, you said?
Yeah, I saw the Amber pin. pin.
Oh, okay. Is that a hint?
I was like, I guess I don't even know if that's a hint. I'm trying to look. I'm like, we don't have a sapphire one yet. So maybe we gotta get Fumbles a respectable pin. Or maybe it's a distraction.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm really excited to see now. On the other side, Matthew Hash, the team manager from Ink, I believe here, trying to be the anchor for his team, trying to squeak out the win here. I love a game 3 in a normal match, and I love a tiebreaker on a game 3 of a 3-match set. Is that
I don't know the terminology. I mess it up every single time.
A set. There's a tennis, a game, a match.
All right, we are going to see Tipo into the Inkwell, and we will start out with a Basil. And I do know that Fumble has been throwing his head against the Blurple wall for weeks, if not years.
Hasn't 40% of the Lorcana community these days love I don't know. I still am not sick of Blurple, honestly. Like, people in the chat are going to yell at me for saying that, but I think it's a fun deck to watch. And this first turn Basil is super great, and on the other side we have the Yzma into the Inkwell, and this is Amethyst Steel. I'm actually really excited for this.
This is DLC finals vibes. We are back. We're back again.
And unfortunately, and a Tipo. This is 1-2 for Blurple. This is exactly what you're going to do. Unfortunately for Matt, I think this is a bad matchup. It's not a terrible matchup, but Blurple is by far the deck in the meta that Amethyst Steel has the hardest time into. And especially when you're on the draw on game 1, it's a really tough sledding. Blurple is just really top heavy and has easy ways to shut this down. I'm going to pause for a second as we get into the play-by-play. I really want to talk about Amethyst Steel and what this deck is doing, because I'm really excited.
Yeah. This deck has a very hard time into it. At the beginning of the set, I felt like it was a really bad matchup, but I think recently I feel like Amethyst Steel has gotten a little bit better into Blurple. At least they've found alternative play lines and like kind of ways to approach the matchup. So I think that maybe it's a little bit closer than we thought originally, but it's still not great. But Amethyst Steel is a very, very strong deck here. You just have to know exactly how to pilot it. And we see these players kind of off to the exact start that they want. Hook, Calhoun, Genie into a Basil, Tipo, Genie. Yep.
Yeah, and this is the game plan from Amethyst Steel in this meta. It's a mistake that people fell into after last set because there were all sorts of 1-drops that replaced themselves, and Amethyst is going 1-on-1, 2-on-2. What this deck wants to do is do exactly this, a 1-2-3 play. That Satisfy Genie is a great one because what you're trying to do is drop a Genie on turn 4 and then immediately sing Strength of Raging Fire. Unfortunately, when you're on the draw, that playline gets shut down here, and Elsa coming down right on cue on turn 5. We're going to get rid of that Genie Satisfied Dragon, kind of shut that down, and this is where this deck can start to fall flat. Hopefully Matt has a Genie to kind of recharge his hand, but on the draw, it's just so tough if that Strength gets shut down. We do have the Genie, though. That's good.
Yeah, the Genie comes down, draws us a card, but again, I mean, we went Basil 1, Tipo 2, Genie 4, Elsa 5, and that is basically the script that you and every other Blurple player wants to write at this point. And we do see the Calhoun taking out the Basil. He'll gain 2 lore from that, which is kind of nice at this point. Like, thank you, Calhoun. Thanks for taking out that problematic Basil. But unfortunately, we are going to 6 ink, so that means we could see a TikTok. We could see there's so many terrible things that can happen at this point because we have stayed exactly on script as Blurple. So now this mid game is basically where that skill and expression part of Blurple really like kicks in.
Yeah, it's where the game starts, right? Like I've heard Blurple players joke, they're like, my game actually starts on turn 4. And this is where, yeah, we're going to start. There's that Baymax coming down. This is not a card that's run in, I would say, many Blurple decks. It is there, but certainly in a minority of them, I would say. So fun to see it here.
So yeah, Baymax was popular as kind of really at the beginning. Actually, Zenulus decided one night that he was just gonna chuck 2 Baymaxes in there and see how it goes. And over the course of the tournament, I think it was actually the Ink Open, Baymax ended up gaining him an extreme amount of lore. But then the weekend before the Ink Open, he actually ended up getting top cut with his Baymax Blurple deck. And so since then, it's kind of like a don't we put the Baymax in there, because it can really, really turn some games. And if people aren't expecting that, it really makes a big difference as well.
And back on the other side, Matt with another Genie now. So these Amethyst Steel decks, if I could nerd out for a second on them, these are not the aggro versions that we've seen in previous metas, as we talked about, decks that can go wide early. What these decks want to do is basically have a 3-phase game plan, where turn 1, 2, 3, and even into turn 4, you're doing this sequence where you're 1-drop character, 2-drop character, 3-drop character, 4-drop Genie into Strength of Raging Fire is your ideal line. And a lot of it's about maintaining board pressure and control and shutting down your opponent's lines, just keeping that pressure on the board. Then in the second phase of the game, what you're actually doing is building resources. You're using cards like Genie and other card draw to refill your hand, cards like Dumbo, as we see Richard come down with. And then what you're trying to do in the last phase of the game is go wide. And so the go wide strategy doesn't take effect generally until turns like 7, 8, and 9, or even later, when you manage to refill your hand and then just dump out a whole bunch of stuff. And without the board wipes or the wide removal that we see, that Ruby lost, we all know, be prepared. That's where you close the game down. So this is kind of the resource building phase. The problem is that right now, Fumbles, and this is what Blurple does, is putting so many tools on the board, so much pressure, even with the Genie with 2 lore, that Matt has to worry about the board and can't necessarily build that hand advantage that he's looking for mid game.
Yeah, and definitely we do see that we ended up questing with the Baymax, taking a damage off of Elsa to gain a lore from that, which is bananas. But then we do see that Dumbo come down, and we're immediately able to pay 1, use that world's greatest ability to then exert the Elsa, world's greatest criminal 9th wonder ability to come in and exert the Elsa, gain 1, draw 1, pay 1, as JDZ loves to say. And unfortunately, this situation seems like maybe Matt hasn't seen a Strength of a Raging Fire quite yet. We left everything exerted last turn to kind of, everything that's readied on a board against Blurple is now they're having to take an extra step to exert to then take care of that, unless they have exactly Hades, which we haven't seen from Fumbles quite yet. But unfortunately, we have the Elsa evasive, we have the Dumbo evasive, we have the Genie evasive. So there are tons of ways to go ahead and draw cards. And at this point, against Blurple, Dumbo's the main threat, but Genie's not that great, and a healthy Elsa and even Baymax is a problem at this point. So this is definitely an uphill battle for the Amethyst Steel deck.
Yeah, it's just tough. I mean, you really, you really want that 1, 2, 3, 4 like play line, and it's so tough on the draw when your opponent has that Elsa on curve, which they
always have it. They always have it.
Yeah. So
I was playing Fumbles earlier, and he had 2 Elsas in a row. He'd go, it's 5 ink Elsa, 6 ink Elsa, and a Basil. And I'm like, can you stop? Can you please be less consistent? And he's like, no, I'm playing Blurple. I'm going to be the most consistent.
And here we have a little bit of go wide. So we do have a dock there. 2 ink left up. I don't see how many cards in hand. It's possible we have a double dock situation, and we're just going to get that one on board. Let's see here.
Tragic. But we did see, is that the Aspiring Ruler that came in, and now that does give +2 Challenger to, we are just going to go ahead and dig for that strength, because we are hurting.
Yep.
Wide enough to get rid of the Baymax, I believe, but really the target, I think, at this point is the Dumbo. Gotta get that. Go, go, go. Be the ninth wonder in the discard.
Yeah, it's a great play here. It's a great point, Color. I mean, I think that's the call here, digging for that strength. Because there is a line where you play the dock, you play the other dock, but really at this point, if he hoping to draw into a third dock, to dig a little deeper if he needs to find that strength. The fact we haven't seen it slammed yet means I don't know that he found it. But yeah, just trying to shut down a little bit of that advantage over there.
Yeah, and and again, there's so much advantage. You're like, okay, I have my Dumbo, I have 2 evasives, I also have the, of course, for some reason, Baymax is an evasive. I think they looked at the card and they were like, we're going to make this guy, we're going to put him in the air, in the art, but we're not going to make him evasive because that would be insane.
Yeah, right.
That would be a ridiculous ability. But we did have to 2-for-1 ourselves, using the Hook and the Calhoun to gain 2 lore and take down that pesky Baymax. Ooh.
Boom, and there's Fire the Cannons. Now, this card is an interesting one in this mix. You find players either who move more towards the Fire the Cannons versus the Hypnotic Strength or back and forth. Generally, sometimes you see both, but generally players are picking one over the other as their removal. Tiago goes on and on about why Fire the Cannons is an okay card. But anyway,
I love Fire the Cannons, but I don't know how it plays in Amethyst Steel, so... I mean, I know to an extent. I think I am a Fire the Cannons player. I'm not as much as the Hypnotic player. I just like the instant gratification of just being like, boop, that.
Blasting something with a cannon.
Boop, yeah. I don't want to hypnotic, finagle, draw cards. I just want to go. And then I started blasting,
Yeah, but a fantastic dock there, probably or drawing into that cannons, able to do some removal. So all of a sudden, this board looks a lot less scary. That Dumbo there still doing its thing, gaining some cards and drawing into another genie there. Blurple just doing Blurple things.
Right. Why not add more cards to your hand if you need any more? And we do have a few ink left, notably. Blurple doesn't have 3 drops in the deck that we can really utilize. So why don't we just take the -1 lore and draw another card and see what we get? Because at this point, we haven't seen any Hades. We're going to sing 1 Jump Ahead with Tipo. What a little throwback that is there. So we'll go ahead and put the top card of our deck into our inkwell as a little boy sings a tune.
Fascinating to see 1 Jump Ahead in here. Notably, like the one deck who won the Bologna this weekend had one Jump Ahead, making 9 ramp cards. But interestingly, like if you're going to play 4 Tipo and 4 Azurite Sea, the difference between your percentage chance of getting ramp on turn 2 just goes from 90 to 93%. So the inclusion of a single 1 Jump Ahead even doesn't give you that much of an edge. What it does allow you to do is like this sneaky double ramp. If you happen into it, where you play the Tipo and then on turn 3 you can sing the 1 Jump Ahead to like get an extra boost on your opponent. So it's a really fun card to see mixed in here because it's not one that you see, I would argue, in most people favoring the Azurite Sea and the Tipo. But occasionally see one splashed in.
We were discussing, and we see the Jafar cleanly, who has evasive on your turn, take out the Dumbo. But we were discussing Fumbles luck recently, and I have started to make my own headcanon that anybody that puts 1 Jump Ahead in their Blurple list has about the worst luck as Fumbles, and they just need that 9th piece of ramp. It needs to be in the deck to make it's just like an emotional support ramp that just goes in there and makes you feel a little bit better. And then when you do miss turn ramp, you could be like, man, I have 9 pieces of ramp in here. I don't know how I missed it.
Not my fault. It's not. I put them in there. I even put the insurance in. I paid for the insurance.
I did it. Yeah, exactly. So again, like I said, I'm sure there's like you said, the 93%, there's a mathematical reason. I'm sure Frank Karsten can get on an entire TED talk about it if we really want to get into it. But again, I see a 1 Jump Ahead in a Blurple list, and I think that you just have Fumbles luck, and you got to put it in there, make yourself feel better.
And here you have the two burn cards that this deck still runs coming in. White Rose there will give a lore to Matthew when entering the battlefield, and the Giant Cobra. Nothing to discard, so it's just going to come out there and be a big body on the board. And I think Matt is top decking here, unfortunately. Oh, look at that. It is the Hypnotic Strength, and there we're going to see that used. Great effect. It can either give your character challenger, or it can take care of a pesky illusion. I think that's a flavor foul there. A Hypnotic Strength taking care of Jafar's Giant Cobra. And then we have this beautiful Elsa the Fifth Spirit come in. This version from the new collector's box coming out, which is delightful.
Glimmer foils. I will say, I'm not going to lie, Elsa's beautiful. Tinkerbell looks better in my opinion. I love the Tinkerbell glimmer foil.
I won't argue with you. I won't argue with you at all there. Basil there using his support ability to give the Elsa extra strength. I love Basil in these Blurple lists, and then a little bit of a visions. Oh, there we go. Visions into the visions. digging.
Nope, and we
that's
are going
digging.
to scoop it up.
Yeah, just not
Oh, we
nothing
went
doing
visions
here.
for an elephant. Oh, okay, I see. Like, so you pick back up one of the Elsas and then kind of continue on. What is something I saw on the blooper list? I don't even know how good it was, but it made me super angry. Was basically they magical maneuvers their Elsa and then replayed it that turn and then continuously just like I was like, you have got to be kidding
That's
me.
cold.
Yeah, I was upset about that one.
Magical maneuvers indeed. That's a ton of fun. I would say a fun match there, Matthew. I mean, probably that as well as you could have. But again, on the draw against a blurple list that's hitting the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 checklist, you know, right into the Elsa is really, really tough. And then the Baymax on top of it to boot, like, I don't know. It's a tough match there.
Because again, that was another thing too, is Baymax is basically letting you trade maybe in an unfavorable situation, because then when you quest with the Baymax, you're now kind of removing that damage. And of course, it's kind of like a counterintuitive thing because we want the damage on there to move around with the Bell. But again, if we're not really finding Bell, that Baymax is gaining us lore and keeping our characters healthy enough to go in for another round and go ahead. And it's like the damage isn't even just it's just an insane effect because the Bell's going to move the damage to cause problems, but the Baymax is going to remove the damage to give you lore, which causes problems for your opponent in the fact that you're going to win the game before they do. So again, and I thought Baymax cost 6, but he cost 5.
Yeah. I mean, it's just good. I'm chuckling at
he's my favorite character too, and you're wearing a Baymax, so really,
I know. Like I manifested
Fumbles.
it, right?
Yeah, like I love it.
Yep. Are you satisfied with your care?
I love Baymax.
I was just chuckling at Wonderland's emotional support ramp comment.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. Yeah. So going into this match, Matthew, obviously much happier to be on the play here, and you're going to see a huge difference here. I mean, the play draw disparity obviously is always huge, but here in particular, take a look and see if Matt can hit this 1, 2, 3, 4 strength line. Being on the play opens that up and prevents the your 3-drop from getting banished before you can hit that card. Interestingly here, so when you do your altar in this match, I actually did a lot of talking with Tiago. I did a video on this recently, like that you're digging, in theory, you're digging super hard and altering super hard to find that strength in that genie. Those cards are critical. Because this deck usually runs like 12, and about 15 in the 1, 2, 3 drop respectively, you can shift. You can be really aggressive shifting away 3 drops because the odds of drawing into one before turn 3 are pretty big. So Matt, in theory, is altering really, really hard to make sure he's got that turn 4 genie Strength of Raging Fire line, and we'll see if that pays off.
Yeah, we definitely saw Matt draw about 30-something cards that first game and not see even one Strength of Raging Fire, as we do see the controversial little Madam Mim, tiny adversary, come down and is going to give that Captain Hook Challenger 1, while also giving herself Challenger 1, because if you're going to give a treat, you need a little treat for yourself.
Madam Mim is not selfless. She is not.
I know, I'm like, where's the flavor on this? You know what? Honestly, it's because she makes you so mad that you get a little bit more buff. I think maybe that's what it is. Like, her little tricks. She makes you angry. She took Merlin, who's basically a pretty calm, chill wizard, and made him duel. So maybe that's what it is. If she gets mad, you get mad. I don't know. Maybe a little challenge buff there. I'm trying to find the flavor in it, guys.
She's magical. She's marvelous. She's mad. Madam Mim. And I love seeing her in this list. Funnily enough, I mean, these were very popular like early on, and then they were kind of worked out a little bit. And now, Tiago going over to, very talented Purple Steel player, running just 1 over in Bologna, but saying should have run more. But there's all sorts of social media play with this card. So here we have the 1, 2, 3, a Satisfied Dragon. Again, a great card to drop here on turn 3. It's got a little bit extra on the back end. So now, I mean, you see the huge play draw disparity difference here, because now Richard will drop his or Fumbles rather drop his genie most likely, and then back over to Matthew. He won't have the Elsa to banish it, and we'll get to see if that turn 4 play pays off. And that would mean that Matthew, I think, is on script for what he wants to do, really in most matchups, but in this one in particular. So let's see Let's see.
Yeah,
let's
I'm
see.
definitely interested to see, because now at this point, you know the lines of this. You like you've said it. 1, 2, 3, strength, genie, everything else like that. Making sure that line's set up. And at this point, too, Fumbles has gone his Basil, Tipo, genie. So he in his head, he already knows that the strength of raging fire is coming, or basically he's off to the races. So kind of waiting to see. This is a very pivotal point. Like, make your opponent have it, and now my backup plan starts. So we're going to go ahead and ink a genie. If we're going to go ahead and play our genie, and then hopefully we have the strength of a raging fire. If not, Fumbles, look, he's like, look at him. He's like doing the little, does he have it?
Yeah,
Does he have it?
You got it?
Does he have it? Because if not, if he doesn't have it, we are going to throw it looks like
there it is. Okay.
strength of a raging fire. Yep, there we go.
and it's
Absolutely.
all the force of a great typhoon. And this
Yeah.
is great because we're getting to see this Amethyst Steel deck doing what it wants to do. Like, this is the opening line this deck wants. Now, but this is the power of Basil, right? Like, the turn 1 Basil is so pivotal, because imagine if we missed that 1 drop, right? Like, imagine if we missed that 1 drop and that Basil isn't there. Like, this game all of a sudden blown open. But here, the Elsa, able to come down here on turn 5 if he's got it.
I don't think we have it.
Oh no,
we're stalling.
No,
like, I wanted to see it. Yes, we do have the Elsa. We can basically turn anything sideways and then use the Basil, pump that up, and make sure that his genie is gone. So you don't get a genie, I don't get a genie. Genie denial everywhere. But again, if you take out your genie with your Elsa Basil situation, he has the genie bug catcher. I have no idea what that genie's name. I just know his ability is bug catcher. Genie. It's a crackback.
It's the giant spectral parrot. It's the 4/6 Iago there. I mean, a powerful card.
Not into steel. It's so scary with that vanish keyword.
Right? Little fire the cannons there. Make short work of him. But it does shut down that genie. So in the Amethyst Mirror, it was one of the reasons you play it, because that 4 strength can take care of genies if they try to get some cheeky stuff. And there it is.
Oh no!
You called it, color. Little cannon coming out, just going boop on his nose.
Yeah,
and sending him to the discard pile.
Just a boop, not even a boom. And the thing is like, now I know Fumbles well enough to where like I can see it, like the Fumbles. And I say this with as much respect as I can hold for a human being, because I think Fumbles is one of the most lovely people in this game. And you can even ask Baker, he has said the same thing. But I am going to, you can see the way that he moves his cards to the discard, that the Fumbles crash out is peaking.
No.
It's peaking. And it's because we just see it. We went 1, 2, 3, 4 strength, and we're on rails. We're following the script. He missed his 5 ink Elsa, so the game is getting away from him. And Fumbles' mannerisms are so. Yeah, I was gonna say his mannerisms are my favorite. I'm so sorry, and I know it's a negative state of mind to be in, but Fumbles crashing out is one of my favorite things in the entire world. And
no, is Fumble a description as well as a name? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's actually, I think it was from Adult Swim back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's a good one, like a whale throwback for you. If you know, you know. Anyway, he always has it, man. That's exactly how he does.
I do not.
I know. There's no reason why you should. It's terrible, but we're seeing little Mim go on a quest here.
Yeah, sneaking a little lore, it looks like. And again, I mean, Matt, you're probably feeling here like there's a big window. Not having it Elsa there, huge. And now we're gonna get to see here. What do we got? Is it a? There's the Elsa. A turn late off the top deck.
Know.
But giving some space to Matthew there. And so now we'll exert that genie satisfied dragon, or not, bug catcher rather. Oof.
I know.
So many genies.
Is he a bug? I don't think he's a. Is he? He's not a bug catcher. That's his ability name. Is bug catcher.
He is satisfied dragon. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's ridiculous. I read that, and that was the part that stuck with me, because I was like, wait a minute. And then I had to start thinking of the implications of why bug catcher would be the variant name, or his ability name, as opposed to his variant name. And I got in a whole little spiral. So now that's the thing that my brain can remember. So we are going to quest with Basil to buff up our Tipo and take out the Madam Mim. So we will stop those favorable trades into our board.
Oh my God, Basil's so good. I rave about him every time I see him on turn 1. He's just anyway, good card. All right, back over to Matthew here. Now this is the part of the game where there's that Dumbo. Okay, plenty of evasives there to fuel his ability if we have the ink and want to do it. But then you expose things to challenges. That Elsa there is threatening, especially paired with at Basil. So Matthew going to figure out how he wants to navigate this turn. This is the part of the game where this deck, so we saw what it wants to do, its initial game plan on turns like 1 through 4, right into that strength and keeping your opponent a little bit on their toes on the board. Now at this point in the game, you're trying to accumulate resource advantage. You have to give a little bit of pressure to the board, and you want to build the board a little bit, but you also are trying to fill your hand so that in the late game here, which is we're almost there, Matthew then wants to dump like 2, 3, 4 characters on the board at a time. That's the point where you want to string the docks together. You don't want to do it earlier. You want to do it in the late game. And that's really phase 3 of this deck. So that Dumbo coming out at a good time here to perhaps unlock some of that card advantage. We're going to see some challenges. Hook taking out Tipo. We're going to leave that Elsa over there by itself. And this is Amethyst Steel on its game plan.
Strength would be nasty here. I don't know.
Right.
That'd be so gross. You see Fumbles flip a table, and I would agree. But at this point, yes, we do. Everybody knows going wide for Blurple is not great because at this point, even though the top deck, like the top end of Blurple is a lot more powerful, it costs a lot more. So you're only going to be playing 1 or 2 things a turn. But we do see it challenge in with
beautiful card.
Challenge in with Elsa, beautiful Enchanted Bell, come down, move the damage over, and take out that character. So now our Dumbo is gone. Bell is such a clean answer to Dumbo. It's crazy.
Yeah, what a sequence there. Oh, well, I have another one. All right, fine. We'll play another one. Now force you to answer, perhaps. We'll see if the genie is exerted here. Thought about it, Matthew, thinking about exerting that genie, but
maybe thinking about potentially a hypnotic deduction or something like that. Maybe just go ahead and take out that Elsa and protect our Dumbo, because unless that card is exactly Hades, we're going to start really building up those resources, kind of like you were discussing before, and it has to be.
Oh, it is the Hades. It is. You top deck that. No. Dumbo going into the inkwell here, and if you're Matthew, you're trying to, if that Dumbo sticks on the board like 1 turn, and you can use 2, like if Fumbles doesn't have the cards you need, and that card can draw you like 2, 3 cards, that's it. That's your game plan. But that Hades coming down. Oh my goodness, Matthew now probably frustrated in this. I don't know how many cards in hand, but we're starting to get close to dock time because losing both.
Dock o'clock.
And
another Dumbo, stop it!
Another Dumbo.
Okay, that's just about $150 worth of cards in the last 3 seconds.
Just getting roasted.
Oh my goodness.
And Hook
taking out the bell, getting rid of that, and now just a little BB Diablo. Look at him.
Look at the bebe.
Look at the BB. Yeah, just a Diablo. And we're going to see what the top of deck of Fumbles is a TikTok signed by our favorite Lorcana villain, which that was his card reveal this last set. So that is one of the most valuable TikToks I've ever seen.
Ah, indeed. One of the most villainous for sure.
Yeah.
But leaving that Dumbo up, and now, evasive characters on Matthew's side of the board, no evasive cards on Fumble's side of the board. So we're going to do a little card draw here. Let's see
no, we're not.
No,
we're saying.
I think we will. It's a question. Wait for it.
Are we the 9th? Are we 8th? Okay. All right. It's fine. We are not going to make that decision quite yet because we're trying to figure out. I mean, I'm doing it. I want to draw cards. But again, I can't see. I think maybe Matt has a couple cards in hand over there. So we're trying to figure out what those cards are and potentially making sure that we can kind of use that ink and make sure that we can still, I mean, I think so. We've got plenty of ink over there. Just draw the card. It'll be fine.
So much ink. Yeah, I mean, really, I don't know. I'm going to go on a limb and say, I think there's 2 cards in hand. I'm going to go on a limb and say one of those is a dock. I feel like you have to have drawn into one by now.
Oh, is it strength dock? Because I hate when that happens. When the last 2 cards in my hand are strength and dock, and I need it. I need it for anything at all. Again, strength wouldn't really do anything here, so you're probably best to just ink it and then slam the dock. But we are going to use Dumbo's ability on the genie, missing out on 2 lore, notably. But is that going to be worth it?
I mean, that's how you close this out. If you're in a scenario where you're trying to squeak out like 2, 3, 4 lore a turn, I mean, you can do it, but Blurple has those answers that it draw into Hades, at this point, you're scared of the second star as well. We've established enough to sing together, and that being sung feels particularly awful. So at this point, Matt's thinking about, trying to accumulate some resource advantage of his own, because again, the way you win this is, draw 3, 4 cards here, draw a bunch of cards, and then
Sorry, I just got really excited because I was like, wait a minute. If he has second star in his hand, he might be trying to keep Fumbles off of second star. So then if you play the Challenger Defar on Dumbo, you're going to have to trade your Dumbo into Hades, but that would keep Fumbles off of second star. Or you could at least do that, potentially trading. Yeah, you would still lose your Dumbo, so you might as well. But at this point, trying to figure out potentially how to keep Fumbles off of that second star, because I've seen that story. That look in his hand where it's just a second star bricked doing nothing, and nobody wants to hard play that song, but we want to sing it and I want to see it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's the calculation here. I'm trying to think through, draw a card.
It doesn't get it done. It's only 2. No, it wouldn't even take it down.
I know. So at this point,
Hypnotic and Challenger Genie and Namim.
A couple Hypnotic Strength, or
you draw. I know.
Or you draw into a Strength of Raging Fire here. Let's see what it is. Elsa, the 5th grade. Okay.
Okay.
Not gonna be enough though.
You gonna trade your nope.
No, it's just not enough.
Not enough for anything. Those are big old characters, so you can put damage on things, but I don't love doing that in the face of a potential Bell.
No, and oh my goodness, second star would be so devastating here. And
all right,
4 on the tick. Do we have the 4? That's not enough.
No, so we're just gonna pass the turn and just hope maybe next turn. I mean, there must be terrible cards in hand just to put 2 damage onto the TikTok in preparation for our next turn. So that is unfortunate. And I don't know, did we ink that turn?
I believe so.
Okay, so we did ink that turn, and we opted to leave our Dumbo readied, just maybe in the face of a Into the Unknown or something like that. And now we are exerting the Hades and unexerting it, because that feels like potentially we do not have the second star to them, right? Which would have been an insane situation for Fumbles to pull off this turn.
Don't have it. I'm really on the edge of my seat here. So
I know. I'm like, why the 2 damage? I don't understand. Make it make sense, but at the same time, it must be a pretty bad hand if we're trying to make sure that we have some damage put onto there to then accumulate next turn. And if this is a Bell, this is a huge punish to watch our Dumbo go down.
Oh, it is.
Okay.
Dumbo. Okay. I like the way you set that up there. That would have been amazing if it was. No, I mean, so fantastic there. So, there are these scenarios too where like you take a line to set something up, and I don't know why that 4 damage is on there. There's a couple things I can think of. We'll see how it pays off. But if TikTok is challenging back and punishing your Elsa for that challenge, it's not singing second star. So like you put your opponent in a position where it's like, hey, you can remove my thing, but then you're not doing the thing that like I don't want you to do. So a small consolation there. But now we are going to see the Dumbo draw the card here first in the turn. This is what we thought about doing last time. We have the Genie available as well. But that Dumbo looking awful menacing over on the other side of the board. So what felt like a pretty wide board for Matt and a pretty shallow board for Fumbles is now kind of swung a little bit. And it's tough. This is tough.
I know. I'm wondering what's going on, honestly, because in my mind, I'm like, well, why didn't we swing in? But I guess they had to make sure that we got rid of the Elsa, so the evasive. And I'm like, oh, God, I would have loved to have drawn a card off of that TikTok. And again, just watching that 4 damage sit there. But I mean, it is TikTok. So if you're going to sit there and try to finish off Fumbles TikTok with one of your evasive characters, that is a clean trade. You're just going to lose your board, and that's not what nobody's going to do. And if it's the... I want to know. I'm like, can you just show the camera what your hands are? Because at this point in the game, you've confused me, and I don't know what you guys are doing, because their hands have to be suboptimal. It is kind of where I am right now.
Let's see where this goes. Okay, the Calhoun coming in, and for 3, it's a White Rose. Okay, at this point, like, there's going to be one card. Is it strength? Okay, there it is.
Okay, so we found the strength. So we are going to go for the 1, 2, 3,
Oh
4,
man,
5.
I mean,
Yeah, that wouldn't even take out the. It's like the numbers are all off just by a little bit. We only have 5 characters, so we could only really finish off the TikTok. So that was a huge strength onto a TikTok with already 4 damage on it. So, and our Hades does get to live to see another day. A second star on the right. Second star would be really, really good.
Feels good. I was going to say, it feels like at this point there's like one card either way which would blow this game open or allow one player to run away. And the strength is 1 for Matthew that like was that card. On the other side, you know, we keep talking about it, but there is the second star, which would do it there as well. Madam M, elephant coming down here again. Demo not the only elephant seeing play in the meta, and it's going to bounce that elephant, play that elephant. So there's a little elephant on elephant, like, I don't know what's going on there. Circus of elephants going on down there, bouncing around. And that's it. I think a quest there from Hades, and
yeah, I think we're questing. I think as Fumbles has realized that basically, you know, with Matt's deck, with Amethyst Steel being able to just gain lore out of his hand, we need to be able to keep up. So Hades is just kind of going on a quest each turn and making sure that we're keeping up in lore to where if we do turn a corner, it's not a monumental climb up the mountain to get us where we need to be.
Yeah, and this is where, I mean, again, Matthew, it's the same game plan as before. You're trying to find a way, whether it's at this point late in the game of stringing docks or getting a couple Dumbo activations to build up that resource advantage in your hand to then go wide. This is the part of game where Amethyst Steel wins by going wide. And starting to do that here. Plenty of characters there, or in Fumble side of the board, plenty of strong characters. I mean, not super strong characters, but a lot of willpower, and they can do some damage. To keep things under control, but I don't know, kind of on a knife's edge here for me.
So are we going to sing or are we questing? Because I am wondering, do you have another strength in hand? Is that what you're sitting there? Because that would be absolutely devastating just to be able to get rid of some of Fumbles' board and, you know, really Dumbo's the target, but we aren't. We are going to quest with our White Rose, then pass back to Fumbles, who is going to immediately activate that ability, pay 1 ink, draw a card, gain a lore, sail into another card, pay 4 for a genie to draw another card.
Genie.
This is a devastatingly disgusting turn for Blurple, doing the thing that Blurple does.
I mean, yeah, a lot of resources there, but it does give a little bit of breathing room. Now, this is where, you know, Fumbles, if given another turn of this.
Oh,
there it is!
Right, and it's enchanted! Oh, we love it. Sorry for your ears, but
okay.
We did it. We sang
card.
the second.
No, we've been waiting for that all game. That is a game-breaking card. There's a Basil coming in just to boot, and then a Rafiki being dumped on the board. Why not? But a little bit of breathing room to Matt here. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lore on the board with that Dumbo exposed at 7 with the Calhoun. So, you know, plenty of lore to be gained. But fun note there, second star to the right, illustrated by artist Salo Nate. That was his very first card he was ever asked to illustrate. So going right for an enchanted, and said he didn't feel like he deserved it right off the bat because all these other artists, established artists, you know, deserved enchanted before him. And he got the second star first. So did a brilliant job with it. So congrats to Salo Nate. Another fun fact, Salo does live in Philadelphia now, but he went to school with and is very good friends with artist Ari Welly, both of them from the same city in Brazil. So
actually got to meet him in the Ink Ink Open in Baltimore recently, and he's absolutely lovely. I was kind of chatting with him for about 5 minutes straight, and then finally I was like, I'm sorry, like, what was your name? And he introduced himself, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're the guy, you know, like, oh my gosh, it's just a lovely, lovely human.
Your name is on my Lorcana cards.
I know, right? I'm like, I know your name. So we are going to go ahead and exert Dumbo to use his ability to draw a card, because at this point I think we're looking for cobras. We're looking for cobras. We're looking for roses, because I just want to quest out and win the game from the cards in my hand.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great opportunity here to push things. A couple burn cards. Now, there's not a ton of them in this deck. Now, there's usually 8. There's the Cobras and the Roses, but there we are. We're going to quest all the way to 16, I believe. Now,
that'll do it.
That Dumbo.
Now, that is a bell.
Oh, okay. But no damage. We're just going to drop and get that 2 lore on the board. So now, but setting up game here, though, I mean, you have to deal with that 2 lore, as well as everything that's exerted. You have to deal with that 2 lore bell on the board, or else a Cobra closes things out for you here, and 1, 2, enough ink even to drop a dock and then look for a Cobra if you need it. So, I mean, really.
So what are we doing here? Fumbles, at this point, you have to Hades the bell, get rid of that. Now we're having to sit here, and this is my favorite thing about Disney Lorcana, where you're like, math is for challengers. You know what? This is your game to lose. If you challenge incorrectly, then you potentially lose the game. Or you can sit here and parse it out and make sure that you double up. And I do love this. Is this something that you do where do you put what you're challenging in front of the card? Like, okay, you guys are going here. I'm going to send these battle. You challenge the battle over here. You guys go over here. And then like halfway through it, you're like, I still lose. Oh, but we do see an Elsa.
Ooh,
Elsa,
critical
Fifth
there. I mean,
Spirit.
you draw 5 cards, you're bound to have a Hades or an Elsa or something you can do some shenanigans with. But is it enough? So here comes the challenges. Rafiki going in there. Challenger 3 coming into play. Doing some work. Elephant going to challenge into the Calhoun. I'm trying to keep track of what's challenging what here. Hades taking out the White Rose. So they are dropping one by one here.
Yep.
Jafar going down next. And we have that couple of evasive characters here, but not enough. So both into the Genie. Going to leave that Dumbo up. Which,
and a bell over down. Take out a bell. Move the damage. We don't. And then we're going to use the damage to throw onto the Dumbo. And that is Matt's entire board. Oh my gosh. Second star on the right gave you every tool that you needed.
Now we got to do math here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So not enough to close out the game. And there's no burn, which means that there's a couple Cobras away. Even if he doesn't manage to establish everything. I mean, Matt is very much in this still. There's a White Rose. That's one more.
Rose. Okay, that's 17.
I mean,
is it a White Rose? No, it's 2, but it's still 2 at a time. Okay, so now Fumbles is going to need 3 answers. 3 answers.
Goodness, yeah. I mean, you really need 3. I mean, even 1 up is a Cobra away.
I know.
A Cobra or a Doc even, because it gives you extra. I haven't seen a Doc played yet. I mean, there's
Fumbles
Docs
is zooming though. That's the confident Fumbles posture. He would be hesitating otherwise. So we are going to quest for 2 because that is what that Hades has done this entire game is quest for 2. We are going to bounce the elephant, get rid of something here. I know, probably the Diablo because it is an extra chance at drawing cards. Fumbles, choose wisely. We do not need to give you an extra chance at. Please. I'm so nervous. I'm like sending the vibes. Take the card draw and put it in the inkwell. Absolutely. That's what we needed.
The Diablo heading down. I appreciate you sending that. We're gonna see quests out the rest of the way. Not enough ink yet to make use of Dumbo's ability.
If that's a crow.
White Rose! He has a White Rose! I wonder if he had it.
It was in his hand.
Did he draw it?
He did. It was in his hand. Yes,
oh,
he
my
did.
goodness.
He just flipped it. He did the courtesy flip. He did the courtesy flip of here you go.
Oh, yeah,
here's the White Rose. Oh, he had it in hand.
Oh man, yeah, the White Rose. Oh my goodness. You know who I feel bad for right now? Oh, Matthew.
Matt.
Yeah, Matthew taking that game there with the White Rose in hand, barely squeaking it out. Oh goodness, what a game! You know how I feel the worst for right now?
That was game 2, right? That was game 2.
It was game 2. You know how I feel really bad for right now? I feel bad for JD and Garrick having to sit here and watch us have all of this fun going into game 3 with a bonkers match, and they got to be on camera for like 10 minutes with the previous 2-game round.
I know they were in here for 2 seconds of it. I always feel like that every time. I feel like for the first few times I got to cast, just like in my short stint, I was always getting to cast Kurt Spice games to where I'd be like, all right, I'm here. It's Kurt. I'm gonna be here for 20 seconds and then I gotta go again, guys. So,
yeah, win fast and lose fast.
Oh gosh, but
that's funny. Sorry, guys. We're having all the fun over here, but super fun match. And here's the thing though, like that match on a knife's edge there, and that's why against Blurple, Amethyst Steel just really has a rough time. And we saw it there. Like Matthew was on his ideal curve. And there's 1 or 2, like there are 2 drops and 3 drops that are better, even 1 drops that are better in this matchup than others, but in general, not that much better to the point that like having just the 1, 2, 3 isn't that bad. So, you ship a bunch? Oh, okay.
Like 5. Oh dear.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Well, with the 1 jump, there's a 93% chance he's gonna find that that ramp. So let's see if he does. But Matthew again, like on the ideal curve, like has the strength at the right time, and then like Fumbles not having the Elsa there on turn 5, waited an extra turn, top decked it a turn later, so did get it.
I know, yeah, he did get it, but it was a little late, so it kind of threw everything off. But at the same time, like if he would have played the Elsa exerted, he might have lost his entire board. So it's like it's
right.
Oh yeah.
But even with all that, like even on the ideal line or very close to it, and with Fumbles missing the Elsa, like Matthew's still barely scratching that out. Yeah. It's just on the play, like it's just such a rough matchup. Now, there are players who pilot this deck very, very well. Matt seems to be one of them, who actually can do fairly well, like close to 50% against Blurple. But you really want to be on the play on game one, and this is by far in this meta.
No Basil.
Oh, no Basil. Okay.
No Basil.
Okay, that's helpful. That's helpful. Again, you're on the play. It's not the end of the world, but it is helpful. And not surprising there, if you're shipping so many cards looking for that ramp, most likely that not surprised that we don't see that there.
And see our Palace Guard with Vanish come down. It is a 1/4, but it does have Vanish. But that's not what we want to do on turn 2. We're not going to hit not extra. Oh, it's a Tipo. Thank goodness. Okay. We got it. 93% chance. Always 93% of the time, we get it 100% of the time. Yeah. So we do see a Bell go into the Inkwell and a Calhoun. Nice, respectable plays from our Amethyst Steel player.
Get a little quest there out of that Palace Guard. Scoop up the lore when you can. Calhoun coming down. Decent card to have here on turn 2. Won't allow any questing from that. Well, okay.
We're going to quest. Are we going to do this one jump ahead? Oh, we're going to elephant. Bounce. Yeah. And we are going to see the elephant. Yeah, that is a killer line into steel because that elephant is such a pain in the butt. It's such a pain in the butt. We underrated that card for the longest time. And then all of a sudden, it's our only viable, not our only, it's one of the only viable bounces we have left. And she is our bounce queen now.
Yeah, this Pachyderm packs a lot of punch in this deck. I've been waiting for that for a while. But Ravensburger cycling out or rotating out like the rest of the bounce package that we love, but leaving us, little breadcrumbs. The elephant.
Magical maneuvers, but I don't want to talk about it.
We are going to see a quest from the Palace Guard here. Satisfied Dragon coming down here on turn 3. Again, we're working into that line. A shiny, beautiful, gorgeous Dumbo. And there comes that Dumbo clearing off that Palace Guard. Now, so it's an interesting choice to quest here because usually in this deck, you want to leave your characters up, fueling that Strength of Raging Fire. But in this scenario, in this particular scenario, because what you're worried about is the Genie being played there, and you want that 4 to hit the Genie. Right. But the Dumbo coming down here does open up that strength, but it doesn't look like we have it because instead we're going to have the Calhoun go into a little board control here, get 2 lore off of that, and we aren't going to see that strength line. That would have been the ideal line for Matt there, is to drop that 4th character and then play, or that 3rd character with a Palace Guard gun, and then play the strength to banish the Dumbo, I think would be the line. But now,
showing that we have no strength at this point, so we'll see him later potentially.
Right, but luckily, I mean, not on his ideal line there. Richard wanted to have the Dumbo there. I'm sorry, the Genie there. Instead, we're going to play Yzma here.
Yzma.
Yeah, great card. Now, this is one of a few card draw options. Why can't I find Yzma in the card viewer here?
Yeah, Yzma, basic conniving chemist potentially, or no? Yes. That's the set 1/3 drop, I think. But we are going to see the Elsa come down. Oh, it is conniving chemist. Look at me remembering things. Yeah, but
Alchemist is set 1.
Alchemist is the set 1. Oh, but she was an alchemist and now she's a chemist. She's fully went through. So we do see the Elsa come down, take out the Genie, because unfortunately, if we wanted to take out the Yzma, we were going to have to trade my card draw for your card draw. But we're going to see how punishing that is if we get to use Feel the Power, where we basically get to exert and then draw up to 3 cards, which is so powerful.
Yeah, this is a card. Yzma, I think, is in most... here we go. Here's that go wide. We're gonna dump everything. I hit the Doc right on curve. Now, okay. So Doc is one of the better cards in this set. In fact, we did a video where we asked people's top 10 cards in Fabled, and Doc made the list before I realized I was about to publish the video. I'm like, wait a second, Doc isn't in Fabled, but he was just so good as remaining card draw because everything else got rotated out that people thought that he would be really powerful. The thing in this deck though is you do not want to be hitting it in the mid game. Doc is a card that you want to hit in the end game, and you want to be using your other draw options to refuel your hand here. At this point, when you're hitting it in the mid game, you're forced in kind of a Doc roulette where you're hoping you draw into another Doc, and it's okay. Now, having the Yzma there feels good. Yeah. Hades going to come down, though. As I say, having the Yzma feels good. In the Inkwell, not as good.
The amount of times I have seen this conniving chemist feel the power is probably, I could count it on one hand. But man... when it happens. But again, I mean, in the same vein as Dumbo, it's a must answer 4-drop. It is a must answer. Dumbo, if you play it on turn 5, you could potentially, if you have another evasive in turn, you can get that value immediately. Yzma, she has to be dry. She has to exert to be able to do her thing. But boy, when you get 3 cards off of her, it feels nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I was about to say, it feels like extra good here when you're playing that Doc Roulette, especially when you have this much ink. You could dump a bunch of cards and then make use of Ease Invisibility, but losing that feels really bad here. We are going to see if this Doc Roulette paid off for Matt. He does draw into a Calhoun. Is it another Doc? Do we get? Oh,
it is a Doc, but I think we try.
Oh, the Genie was the other, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we're not going to use that ability. No, we're just going to throw that. So we have Genie, Doc, Hook, and Calhoun. Just a nice classic Amethyst Steel lineup going through. And we are going to immediately snap off that gain 1, pay 1, draw 1, and see what we get. We're going to go ahead and ink, paying another 7 for the double Hades. And I think the Fumbles should lose a lore for it not being an enchanted. Look at that board. Look what he's done. Enchanted.
It was so bling, and now it's. Yeah. I think that's a set 1 even.
I was gonna say if it's a set 1 foil, maybe we can let him have it.
It's certainly not a set 2 foil. I see that text box there. So that's question number 1. How does it feel?
Yep.
To play
a mismatched.
A non-enchanted Hades. Right.
And then a Dumbo comes down. So now, unfortunately, we don't see any evasives to get that immediate value, but we do see the White Rose coming down and gaining him a lore, but we're only at 5 lore. So it's 5-5. And now we are at the point where Blurple is very, very, very strong.
Yeah, I mean, it's anytime you see 10
So we're going to double trade, gain 2 lore. So now we're 5-7. In your face, Blurple.
In your face. Now, we were in second star territory. We're still in second star territory, but having to use both the demo and the Hades. Looks like we're not going to do that demo. Instead, drawing a card, gaining a lore. 1-1-1, as you like to say.
Yeah.
It
was Jay-Z. Third Hades, stop it! What kind of shuffler is this?
Oh no, that one's not
Hades, Infernal Schemer, and it's not even foil. We are going worse and worse and worse in rarity, and he should be ashamed for having triple Hades, and he should be ashamed for the decline of the rarity of his Hades. Oh, we do see a second gracious. White Rose. All right.
White Rose come down here, and just again, there's not a lot there though. All of a sudden, 5 lore on Fumble side of the board here with those Hades, and with nothing to pressure is just gonna be allowed to quest for those.
I just saw next Hades as a proxy. We don't allow proxies in the ICL, but for rarity's sake, hilarious. It's just a doodle of Hades.
Yeah, it was a high impact chat there. Next Hades is a proxy.
Oh my gosh! So
oh my goodness!
I'm done. Judge, I love Fumbles, but I don't think he knows how to shuffle.
Infernal's schemer. I think is
Infernal's schemers are just
Hades.
Would it be like bad manners to get my enchanted out of the discard to swap it for one of the non-foil Hades? I'm just gonna switch these guys. I'm just gonna put my enchanted back on the board. Actually, yeah, I'd be too scared to ask that. Okay, so we do see 2 Madame M's coming down, giving her and Doc Challenger 2. Okay, yeah, he's like, bro, I don't know. Take out that Hades, I guess. Sure, whatever.
That one, keeping game off the board there, I believe. Yeah, just 1 short now, having to do it if you want to prolong this thing. But, I mean, just not going to be able to do much here. The writing's generally, it's pretty much on the wall here. We'll just see how Fumbles chooses to close this out. Matt will get another turn.
That's that Ruby Sapphire, I guess, classic control kind of situation where you're like, okay, I've controlled the game. I have clearly turned a corner. Now my opponent gets to sit here and watch me try to win this game. But at least with Blurple, it goes faster than Items did or faster than Ruby Sapphire, where you're just like, I just turn all of these 2 questing lore things sideways. As we see another bell come down, just turn them sideways. Just that's how you win the game. Ugh.
Yeah, voice stealer coming down there. I think you could have done with that bell. You could have done both, yeah. But anyway, it won't matter.
Yeah, we're just gonna scoop it up because that was
that is
4
that
Hades is too many Hades.
Yeah, and Fumble is taking that down. Blurple doing Blurple things, and a well fought match by Matthew. Again,
absolutely.
I really, if you want to know how Amethyst is supposed to function generally in this meta, or in the Blurple in this case, like watch game 2, because that is kind of the ideal line and how Amethyst Steel sets itself up for the mid game is with that. Again, I'm beating a dead horse now, but 1, 2, 3, 4 strength, and then that gives you the board presence and the pressure on your opponent's board to open up your mid-game card draw to then power you into the going wide in the late game. So fun match there, well fought by both players. And
but the SLTC takes it 2-1. I said Enter the Battlefield was going to win. They did not. It was SLTC. So now we're going to switch over to the interviews and ask Fumbles why he can't shuffle his deck properly.
I can do this, I swear.
Not have to play into that.
Yeah, well.
Fumbles.
Hi.
Can you shuffle? What happened? What was that?
So, oops, all Hades. I had them all really early, and I needed to draw ink, or I probably lost. Which I luckily draw ink because I had half of my uninkables in my opening hand, pretty much. So.
Yeah, and then you drew into the rest of them and the rest of the game. Yeah, we also like to point out the basic the downgrade and rarity of your Hades there at the end. You had the enchanted Hades, then you had the foil Hades, and then you had your non-foil Hades. And it was funny because BB in chat is like, okay, next Hades is a proxy.
Shockingly, no proxy.
I know it's illegal here in the ICL, but congratulations on your win. We'll ask you in a minute because you won and you did mean things to Matt, because now I want to talk to Matt. How are you feeling, Matt?
Bedtime. Yeah, I don't know. That game's not fun when you have nothing to do, like sit there and just. I don't like the matchup, but I understand that it can be beat. I was a rough game for being game 2. Like on the play, I still almost lost. Yeah.
I will say that Fumbles does beat me into the ground quite often. I've never seen another human play a deck more than he has been playing Blurple. So I definitely was like, oh yay, we're both doing stuff and things, and I loved that game too. It really everything really worked out the way you wanted to at the very beginning. You kind of went the 1, 2, 3, 4 strength, and everything seemed to kind of work out the way that you need to. I know you said that you even felt like a little bit of a monumental climb there, even though you ended up taking the game too. But 4 Hades was too many. We can all agree that wasn't fair.
You win some, you lose some. I mean, I only saw strength one time in all 3 games. So in all my mulligans and everything, I only saw strength literally one time. I have to go check and make sure there's 4 in here one time.
Liam, are you here?
Am I here now?
Hooray!
You're always here with me, Liam.
Man, I had to do so much. I'm really bad at that. I'm a professional, I swear. Every time I can't get it right. So I'm sorry. I missed the first part of the interview where I say, wonderful game by both players. Too many Hades, and I caught the end there. Not enough strengths. But I enjoyed it very much. I know this is a rough matchup for you, Matt. But especially when you're on the draw on game 1. So just well fought, but a little rough. I do want to ask, couple quick questions. One, how does it feel to have to play with non-foil Hades in your deck? Everything was blinged out, and then you dropped a non-foil, and it all of us were aghast.
Some of us have rent payments to make, man. I don't know how people out here affording quad enchanteds, but I got one. It's a pretty card. I think it looks nice. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe next paycheck I'll get one.
Oh man, no, it's gorgeous. I appreciated the Dumbo too. Like one of the most beautiful cards in the game.
I had to crack a box just to play tonight, so.
Oh man, I hope you pull another Dumbo. Like you deserve it.
I built my deck and I realized I was 1 Dumbo short, and I told the team I already submitted my deck list, and they're like, "We'll drive one to you," and I was like, "But I have this fabled box in an acrylic case on my dresser here."
And you just assumed there'd be a Dumbo in it? That was mad lad behavior.
And I was like, there might be a Dumbo in it, and the 12th pack there was.
And there was. Oh my goodness! Did you open the rest?
There's no way.
Yes, I opened the rest of the box.
And there was, I had to play a
but...
pack rush game against Rebecca, and I opened a fresh box because I didn't have any boosters, and I was like, oh, I guess I have to open this box, and I opened the first 2, and then of course I was like, I'm gonna save these other packs for other things. And then one by one,
yeah, they're all gone now.
Just one more. On the other side, I do want to ask a tech question, just because I enjoy hearing the answer to this. So you're running Fire the Cannons in the Amethyst Steel build. Matt, you're not running Hypnotic Strength. Why Cannons over Strength?
It's a good
Or are you
question.
running Strength? I didn't see anything.
I'm not running Strength. It's a good question. So I guess my thought process was I just started counting my drops and like how many of each 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop I wanted so that I could hit my curve perfectly. A Strength obviously fits in this. I mean, a Hypnotic obviously fits in this deck as we've seen it in other potential purple steel lists that have won or gotten close to winning, lots of Bologna, for example. I don't know. I felt like board presence most of the time is almost more important than a trick, and Fire the Cannon serves the same role. Yeah, that's really what it came down to me. Like, I had 3 Calhouns. You can make that work with it. It also answers the early game. I was hoping to go against anything else, but you know, Fire the Cannons it helps. It helps all the super early turn 1, and you can make a play out of Calhoun with it, and it handles evasives. Strength doesn't always do that. When I swapped out a couple of the Jafars so that I could get more evasive on my turn, which was like enough, and with the Mims, it's 4 damage, so it kills genies. That's all. That's my thought process. I didn't say it was a good thought process, but that was
no. Players go either way depending on what they're expecting to see, and I enjoy it. It's one of those options where it's kind of one or the other, and so I enjoy hearing where Amethyst Steel players fall, because you see players using both. So I don't know. It was a tech question I kind of wanted to ask. All right, Color. Sorry for getting here late. I think that's all I have other than to say fantastic game by both of you. It was a joy to watch, and I appreciate both of you.
Thanks, Liam.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Fumbles and all of his one-ofs for his promos and his enchanteds. So I see that we're getting there. We're getting there.
We're like cutting a 2nd star and dig away from the winning list from Bologna. So we're like there after one more tilt session. So
just if you watch back my casting, everything I said was in complete love, and there was a couple times where you were like, yep, and I knew when you put the card into the discard, you were close to just like frisbeeing it across the room, and I love that about you. So congratulations on the win, Matt. I'm sorry you had to be subjected to that. The Hades, it was brutal, but that is round 3 of the ICL. Do you guys have any shout outs, anything you want to say, anything? Take it away.
Go ahead, Matt.
Shout out to the DMZ. I mean the DMZ.
DBZ. Shout out.
Sorry, DMV. My
it's
local
bedtime.
community.
It's bedtime.
Yeah, it is.
Shout out to the DMZ, keeping those Koreas apart.
Whatever. My local players, everybody that helps me get better. My team, Dixon, Scott Chevron, Garrick, obviously. Everybody's holding it down over here. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Shout out to the Awesome Ink Inc. guys for always hosting a great event. Dixon's always great, and I love all the players on the team. I aspire to be as blinged out as Daryl one day, and I look forward to seeing everybody that played today pretty much in Milwaukee. So it's gonna be a blast.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be like a family reunion. I'm so excited.
Will be.
Sorry.
It will be. Oh, hold on.
And we're done talking to the players, and I'm gonna go back to this thing. I can get it. Boop.
Later.
Right. Thanks, guys.
She knows she's important. She's on the other
Mine
side
has
of this wall
headphones
right
on
here.
right now, and she doesn't watch the stream, so we're saved.
Mine's watching the stream, but I'll tell her to her face. I don't mind.
Oh yeah, I'll tell her that she's great. She lets me go to events and play card games.
What a wonderful way to spend an evening. I'm so glad the
play.
ICL is back. This is such a wonderful. And I'm also glad, Color. I have to thank you and Wonder and JDZ and everybody else involved in the ICL. for moving day 1 to Tuesday instead of Monday, because I always started my Monday night show and I was like, there's a little part of me that was antsy because I'm like, ICL is going on and I'm not watching.
You're like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
I know.
So I'm super excited this year that it's or this season rather, that it's on Tuesday. Really fun. I'm glad it's back. And yeah, I love seeing the camaraderie and the relationship between the teams and how they choose to tackle these team events. Because the teams all support each other, and then we see players compete in isolation. But when you have these 3-match sets, you really get a feel for like the team vibe, and it's really, really, really fun.
I know I started off this day being like, all right, SLTC, I really hope you win. But also, Ink, I want them to win. And they were like, you traitor. And I'm like, listen, I have like 6 favorite teams and half of you are on all of them. And I can't be biased if I'm like in love with every single one of you. And that is not fair to me, in honesty. I'm just kidding. But what do we got here?
You too. I have, I got to represent the Crushers.
Yeah.
Represent the Muses.
Yeah.
Represent Southside Gaming. Represent Enchanted Chatter. Represent Infinity. I haven't entered the battlefield.
I do. Like I said, I have my Enter the Battlefield t-shirt. I wear it everywhere, and people are always like, "Oh my god, what band is that?" And I'm like, "So, do you like Disney princesses?" It's such a weird conversation to have. But again, shout out to Enter the Battlefield for having the coolest logo ever. That basically people at the grocery store ask me what band I'm into, and I have to tell them that I play Disney princess cards. So
yes,
I'm gonna have to make up a band.
You get to tell them.
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna have to like make up a band because they're like, really? What's that? And I'm like, oh no, please.
It was funny.
Right.
I'm just getting a note from production in my ear. I was thinking to myself, Color. I'm like, how long?
I know, like, what are we
we
supposed to
squat
do?
here?
Do we just
and,
start
like,
dancing?
I know it's hard. Stream hostage. But no, we won't talk too long. But I do think I think talk about how the ICL is back. Talk about we talked about that. We talked about this season. Bologna just happened. We're looking forward to Milwaukee. This feels like an amazing way watching Lorcana. A couple nights a week here, seeing these teams with their techs and what they're playing. It feels like a great way to gear up into Milwaukee. A lot of these players are going to be there. Super excited for that.
I'm going to be playing. You'll be casting, but I will be at the tables. Whether it's the top or the bottom remains to be seen. Will there be a Circle of Life in my deck? Maybe, depending on if Zenulus lets me do that.
you will be entering the battlefields, literally.
Yes, I know. I will.
Well, that's amazing. Well, we'll see you on stream on the other end. I'm excited to see what you bring.
If you give me round 1, maybe I'll be on a future match. But after that,
don't sell yourself short. I'm sure. Like all this amazing play from these ICL players has to rub off, right? Like we have to be getting those vibes.
I used to be good at Disney Lorcana. I used to be good. I top 16 decide event in DLC Vegas, and I SSG. I've actually been across the table from Kindle at the top tables. I don't know how to play this game anymore. I don't know what happened. I don't. So we'll see.
You started making content. That's what happens.
I know. And I was like, wait, what if I, instead of, what did somebody say? They're like, oh, cast Circle of Life to get back something. Yeah, I don't know. Basically, like getting back a card and you end up spending more ink just to get back the card that you could have just paid. Oh, basically cast Circle of Life to get back Lilo. Yeah. And I was like, no, that's gaming. That's where my brain goes now. I want to do silly things. I think the competitive spirit has it's still there, but yeah, hard playing a Circle of Life for 8 ink to get back a Lilo escape artist that you could have just paid 2 for. That's the kind of stuff I live for now.
That is the friends from the other side way. Fantastic. Well, I look forward to seeing that. I look forward to seeing that on stream when you're at the top table playing Circle of Life in round 7 of Milwaukee. Let's manifest and make that happen. Before we go, one more note about Milwaukee. Like, Color, what are your biggest predictions for Milwaukee? What do you think? If I were to ask you, what do you think is going to happen, just broadly, generally? Do you have any thoughts? Chat, do you have any thoughts?
If we can get Ray to Milwaukee, we're gonna see a lot of rumblings about that Christmas deck if that's what he so chooses to use. But if not, maybe Fumbles will win it. Maybe Fumbles. It'll be another Blurple win, but it'll be Fumbles this time, so it'll be okay.
All right. That's fun. Chat, if you have any predictions, let me know. One player, it's going to be super fun to see what people bring in. I think the meta is really shaping up. Dogs have been let loose, apparently, which is making this really fascinating, kind of wide-ish open meta, which some people aren't a huge fan of. Ed Chu pointing out that, hey, if you can't like tech for the meta, like if it's so wide open you can't tech for it, is that better or worse?
And just kind of getting this matchup roulette, which is like not, you start feeling like you have less agency, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out, because then after this DLC, we have Whispers. And even before this DLC comes out, we're going to have Whispers spoilers. So we're going to start to see by this next DLC how our next meta will be shaping up. So I'm super interested in the implications of that as well.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to see those first few cards, because it does feel like there's a plan. It does feel like with everything that was rotated out that there's something that they're building towards. And I'm wondering if, this lack of wide removal that we currently have is in preparation for something else. So I'm really excited to see what the game plan is for this cycle. But yeah, Whispers previews are going to be super fun, and gargoyles also. Also, I want a Horned King card.
It's like Black Cauldron. Black Cauldron. Give me things that I can get out of my discard. Let me recur more. Let me Circle of Life some kind of silly situation. I need it. I want it. Please.
Zombie Glimmers.
Yes, I need Zombie Glimmers. I want them. I'm sure that there's a way that we can find a Disney term for that, but I need it. And I want it.
Oh dear, Zombie Glimmers. One other fun note, just because I saw this tweet the other day. Keep an eye on Mo Shamblin tweeting. He's finally excited about deck building again, and if he is going to lose in the DLC, he wants to do it his way, indicating he's going to bring something spicy. So I'm super excited to see what he's cooking up, because he always brings something fun. So just another fun tweet I saw the other day. I don't know how long should we chat? I could chat all night, but
I know, right?
I'm like, feel like people would rather.
I mean, we're gonna be back tomorrow night, guys. Tomorrow night is another episode, season. I don't know how. Help me with the terminology, but we will all be back here, and hopefully tomorrow night. I know we were gonna get Katie from the Lore Keepers in, who was not able to make it tonight, so we'll have Katie tomorrow. JDZ, Garrick, myself, Leah.
I don't know.
Okay. And hopefully our wizard will be back in front of the camera tomorrow night. But tomorrow night, I think we have help. I think we have people that are playing.
There are people playing Lorcana on stream. A couple amazing teams.
Yep. They're wonderful, amazing teams.
Some of the best teams that you're going to see. The
Loungers and
Southside Gaming. Chicago versus South Florida. Going to be rumbling tomorrow. Look at that. I recalled that from my Gray Matter. No help from production whatsoever. I swear. But yeah, come back tomorrow night. Same time. It's going to be an awesome stream, as it is always here on the ICL. I just want to say before I stop talking, huge shout out, as always, to production, all the people who put this together. You all don't see it, but there's an amazing crew here who works behind the scenes, a lot of whom are unsung, to put this thing together every single week. From judges to commentators to production to the casters to the players, and I want to thank all of them. But most of all, I want to thank you, the viewers, who are still hanging out with us, listening to me talk here, because frankly, if you aren't here, we're talking to ourselves, and we do it, but it's a lot less fun. So I appreciate all of you who are out there as well.
I love how dangerously close we always get to, like, and viewers like you.
And viewers like you.
To dangerously close, but not quite there. But thank you, everybody, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow night while we see Southside 3-0. I just want to get the loungers riled up. Like,
right.
I'm going to say that right now, and it's going to be 24. It's literally going to be like 2 hours until Braden is on me on Twitter. So
I feel like I need to. I mean, at this point, I'm not putting out a team.
You get a hat for every occasion.
I don't have a lounger's hat, so like, this is the only one I can rep here.
Wow.
No, that's right. Yeah. So if you're still here, we're gonna send you over in just a minute to another awesome stream. But again, make sure you come back tomorrow. And yeah. Also, if you're going to Milwaukee, just a personal here. If you're going to Milwaukee and you haven't contacted me yet, send me a note. I'm collecting some like player bio data and stuff, and trying to gather some stories prior to the stream. So reach out to me because I'd love to chat with you.
Oh, hey, Liam.
Yep.
I'll be in Milwaukee.
Okay.
Noted.
Noted. All right. All right. Well, with that, we're auto rating in like 10 seconds. So that's it. This is I don't know. This is Color and Liam, and we're signing off here. We'll see you all tomorrow night.
Just letting you be professional. Yeah, before Liam was like, he's like, I am a professional, like in a sarcastic manner, and I was like, I mean.